Jumedi ne de bro kopem se nundu ebebo mede ni Kojo mene Afia ene Kofi ene waha se de da ye no ye ma wakwa aba ma wache ye gidi ye se de wonna no ko ye bia no ene da so ewo ho ema ye di nkomo ya no na waboa ya me ehunu ye ekoso wo mantamu ne ha wadwen a wogidi se mampanin ete na one na soafo no eye ho adwuma no ye beboa am ya ye no sa sen na de won krata no anopei won komo etie ne yete ne nra ne na nadwuni nyina no won ede egu nkrata so abren na anopei bedi hu komo sa na ebibremu abebuo no ye de bebrɛw na anopei question ben na ye de ebremu the question of the day anopei ye de no so ebebrɛw ni nyina mu no kai se obetimi ahwɛ yen on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, na X platform no ye also Facebook ye di nkomo ho da fache television. Abusiafo enra de na nkomo okura mu. Se unim se the minority leader Kwamna Afenyomaki enra nkomo aye no edi ye no. Government spokesperson on communication Felix Kwachiofosu edi nkomo Nana ose eye no nwanwa se Ghana Bar Association da so te ho na omon kasaye. Okan ne nsem ni wie ya Ghana Bar Association aba abonten abeka se enema no entwa yie Kwamna Afenyomaki honorable nkomo no odi ye no enye honorable kra na omo hwe enam so oye member of the Ghana Bar Association ti won hwe se asotwe bi beba na eno achi no enkomo ewo nyina no anope ye de bebrɛw Afia ye ne nhia so member of parliament and ready nkomo no yebisa no se na aden na ni din any list no so nkomo odi ye no anope ye na obeche na se we member of the New Patriotic Party na wasante mantemu a enra nhia so constituency wa na ewo mo former member of parliament na oye former regional organizer of the party Honorable Kennedy Kwesi Kankam and also bisa mo say Ashanti region mo party office no ehe na wo ose mo party office no ehe na wo bi abedi akonwa wo mo preso o mbe konkran na o mo di national post na nso bisa o mo say region ni mu o mo headquarters wo he a ozo o mo nim ba bi o mo headquarters no wo tie no nso asem sebe yegusu a yedi nkomo anopei na nra public accounts committee etna ase no mo di wo mo nkomo no ho asem ba mu menso me ho asem ba mu anopei on top of the morning that's our discussion ye no a na afi yama wakwanya ama nso woni yen akasa ye fi IMF ya ba ekire nkomo ye bebre ye privatize ECG and I am privatize abadwuma ye fokro ba tan say abaya sondaya omo pitri nsori na so ombe pene so pa me a privatize ECG there over their dead bodies and omo kan brofum anopay we'll give you the question of the day and then we'll do the African proverb. So we ask you, if you had a choice between your mother and your daughter, what would it be? If you had a choice between your mother and your daughter, what would it be? Anopay, that's our question for the day. The African proverb this morning says, a dog which refuses a bone is not alive. A dog which refuses a bone is not alive. That's the African proverb. If you're matching.
Yeah, Eja. Ebusia anope yese okraman a ompe dompe no. Onyeti asefo. Kraman biya wodi dompe to no ho a wotutu mrika na wokofa. Na se moment a wobeto dompe ato kraman ho a wankofa no. Wokra we bisa ho questions bebre. Sa na nipa dasani biya ya. Won ye na moja ejina ni mu edini mu afrosa ne da bia no de owo niema hodo a ope ewo abrabomu nipa bia wo pressing issues niema bia etwetwe no ema no etu anamo bi eniema eye papa no osusu se eden fasopa ebeba na brabo mu obia ewo bibi esi nani so ya opim akonanim se obeduru hu enti ebeyi kire yen se ansa na onipa dasani ebepo ade bi no na bibi ewo ho yesi se wotwe ahoma na ama na bibi kuramu dasani bia percent ka wonya sika wonya nkoso na opportunities abrabomu akwanya bebre eba emanom nanso momenta saade ne be hyase se eba nipa na abrabom na all enti fanesa wato akokọ wadidi awie no mpei wa mubom na ade akoto kraman ho na kraman no eda ho me kai pa se be 2-3 months ago kraman na mene ne tifie waya aboa meye ade bia meye aduane wojade a enam o aduane o bibia ye beka no me pie ya na odimechi ti dano me guso a meye ade no na me fie nkwada anti hope on sorry o oda ho asa wayare na mse munya no onhome me pie ye na me de aduane ne nkasa akogu kraman ho na ma frɛ no no oda ho na ma frɛ no no oda ho eduru baabi no me fa kasa no ede ekohua ne hwene ano sɛ obete sɛ me de kasa eba no wa sorry aboa na ansɔre a na me gya aduane ne ho ɛna ne man kuma di mirika bedi ye ade kyen na kraman na wu ti kyerɛ sɛ enwumre na me de aduane ne ma no na bibi press no na bibi ha no nti wa ansɔre anhwɛ ne mu kra ti sɛ nipa dasani nwu ya opre ne ma papa eba na brabo mu we so kyerɛ yen sɛ there's nothing bad in wanting good things for yourself. Eno enkyerɛ sɛ ebia wo ye greedy ana wo ye pesemi nkuminya. Abrabomu esu ne ban ye de na moa ne sɛ obia bepre ne ma papa aba ne nkyɛn. Etoda edin sɛ politician obe reject bribe. Enti obia gina nipa ba ko bi sɔre gina sɛ me de mempa. Obi kura timi gina ebe so positively. Every who say, "Hey, Bibi I boko de." Papa ya was ade ya de manu adamuje ya was so pay. Is everything all right? Obi so etimi every who say we de bia wonim bibi a yen nim o. Ti ya gi ya ono so onyi e bia kina e ho asem ebeba. E komodo ya mu aduane a so woni na kyerɛ sɛ bibi hawo. Bata no pay. Ye fa African proverb bi so. Near to for say wo penye ma papa ama wo ho abrabomu a boni bia ni hu nti pem kwa ni mu na hwehwe ne ma pa ema wo ho na etimi aboa wo the moment a wo reject ne ma papa eba wa abrabomu na kire se wa nipa dasani no ta bibia wo kra ewu ana se wo taste buds nyina enye nti pre ne ma papa ma wo ho na ne ma papa so eba and reject opportunities. Jinu nyina say ye papa no de said ye be ya. Eniema wo aim towards in life no ebetimi abamu ama no pay ye da ase bebre ene obre.
Ye di nkomo wa fidie so nti ye ma wakwanya say obe join in with your WhatsApp messages, your text messages on 020-754-3637 020-754-3637. So between your mother and your daughter, what choice do you make?
Of a mama and me ba.
No, baba.
Me baba. But choose me mommy.
What's it?
But choose me mommy.
Is chidemu and yes, ye jaza.
Of a choose me mommy about. Me mano. Say Yamia Buana meeting criminal, say be major party being weedy, betting me will be account. Say be a man of credit baby as be woo. Boa one na ofin na yemu ba na wo be ba na oni hobi. Wo san so toko so boy adwuma ma bi san so ba. Ba ma me de ofo ye ba akopɛ. Onti so obi asɔre sɛ na me ma me ni o. Na bibi na asase ne ke ka sɛ obi ye me ex wife. Obi ye me step son da bi. O ma me de onti me nka sa asɛm no. O ma me enti me nyo ex mother. Me ma me ye ba akopɛ. Sɛ me ma me no sɛ aka ne da ba akompo amalewu. Na sɛ o be ka chem sɛ me fa na sɛ sa me ba da bi. Emfa. Me ba ye me ba, me ma me ye me ma me. Ono and alpha okro a me woni yem, o see dan woni yem e de ma me for 9 months. Say no akoba say between ono and my daughter. Me sacrifice, I will always choose my mother.
Okay. Afia. Baby, I be do no. O ma me no baba.
Ye choose ewo ye de nyina so na ye de ye saa oh sa
so mu bi no ese oyi mu ba akwa
ewo ekwan ben so
akwa nyina
ya de na ba ne ye pesika akosa ya de ana se choose no ye choose no kwan ben so
se akoba se ese so mu bi no oyi mu ba akwa ana akofi emu na ho
Oh, fa me de say bibi emu de. Me de me ma me de. Wow, de.
Catch a fiat when you are
bibi emu de. What is your mother?
I'll choose both. Ana
there be nothing you see
you move back.
No kwasampa ne say ebeyedin. Ebeyedin pa because me ma me de me ato ne yafunu aboso me nkron wa wo me de me abasa asi so ahweme a bia mu medwane to me ma me e na me so me de ba to me yafunu mu aboso me nkron na ma wo no akwada afenu oba abrabomu a me na me ba betenetene no e de no asi kwan pa so me ma me so adi nkyene a ha
Afia eya odi agya ne ho why na ye nhwe de abusuafo no nso ebeye animu aya a omde bebre yan anope
ebeye medin
nti ye nkwaye animu anope na ye ntie enkomo a ekoso between the Honorable Abna Osei and the Honorable Sam Nete George na afi yemra enkomo we fa ho
Businesses are about making profits, and those profits they paid to you over 8 years at the finance ministry as corporate taxes. Policy decision and policy leadership ought to make sure that we took steps to protect the customer. And I'm saying that we, under this reset agenda and under a responsible government, have done so.
Minister,
no, Honorable, I'm also a member of Parliament. Don't do this. You don't have. You don't. Please, I am on the floor, Honorable.
I understand.
Let me make my point. No, you won't heckle me. Don't play sentiment.
But we beg you.
Until and unless policy decision is made, Honorable, you need to rein in the Honorable member. She's being unruly.
No.
You're being unruly, please. This is unbecoming of a member of Parliament. Please.
Minister, listen, you don't have the floor.
No, I have the floor. No, you have asked me a question. I have the floor. You will let me answer the question.
Minister.
No, you will let me answer the question. No, you won't do that, Abina. You won't do that today. Let me finish.
Minister, respect me.
Let me
This
finish.
is our committee.
No,
you don't tell us what you want to do.
But you've not brought me here to talk down on me as well.
Nobody's doing that.
I listen to you.
Minister,
go on. You will listen to me
that
as well.
Respectfully.
We have asked them to go out. We have asked them.
Respectfully, can you turn off your mic?
Give me the floor, please.
Minister. Minister.
Honorable, don't do this.
This is our committee. Minister, respectfully, I understand.
If it's your committee, then don't invite us. But if you invite us, you ask us a question.
Minister,
if you ask us a question, you listen to us as well.
Minister,
it's not a monologue.
Respectfully.
So respectfully, let me land.
We will let you land. Just a minute.
Sites.
Minister, respectfully, we will let you land. Minister, we are not coming to repeat anything. Respectfully, we will let you land. Please. When you come here and we address issues, it is not that we want to take anybody down. Never. You and I, we go beyond this. We go beyond this. It is not that we want to take anybody down. But Minister, the situation is serious. And that is all the sentiments I'm trying to carry across.
And that's the point I'm making. We've given a policy direction in January. On the back of our policy direction, MTN is rolling out 800 new sites. Telecel is rolling out 350 new sites. Between those two companies, you see 1,150 new sites. However, that's why I said to you that this is engineering and not sentiment. When you ask an MNO to roll out a new site, there are steps that have to be taken. First and foremost, you need to do the acquisition of the site. Then you need to then make the requisition for the radio equipment and the cell site. Those are not things that are, for want of a better phrase, in a supermarket that you just go and buy. You place an order with an OEM. The regulator, the NCA, is going through this process. Most of the MNOs are receiving their BTA devices between July and August. So yes, we have made the request. We have asked them to take the steps. They have taken the steps. But it takes time for the equipment to arrive in the country. And when the equipment arrives and they roll out the improvement, you would see the improvement in the network. But we cannot sit here. After 10 years of failing to take action, someone is taking action, and then you say that you want to see it as quickly as possible.
How many of the sites are they building this year?
This year, MTN is doing 800 new sites.
Okay.
Telecel is doing 350 new sites.
Okay.
So we're looking at 1,150 new sites this year. And I'm saying to you that over the last 10 years, from 2016,
Yes.
the average has been 223 sites per year. And so if this year we are doing 1,150, we are doing a 500% increase to try and cover. And that's why I'm saying that, yes, we all go through the challenge. But I'm saying to you that you cannot will some of these things into being with a snap of a finger. It takes time. And so I'm saying that we gave that order in the first quarter of this year.
Minister.
It will take about 3 to 6 months. I am confident that by the end of Q3 going into Q4, we would see a remarkable improvement in the net.
Right. Kojo Marfo. Ehena mu gina won komo yi mu. Enye jejejeje no.
David.
Enkomo no mu di no. Efa. Ye call. Ye send messages. Na enko. Ana uni nipa na kasa. Na call no akate. Ontene nka, onte wonka.
Yes.
Nti anopei enye ye na ewom no we kasa na utabi. Nti oba no am yehu baabi a ugina. Woni abena na nam ana se woni Sam George na nam. Abena nkomo yetiawa. O say network no enye
Iti ka ho asem.
enti no enye na sam kra nye se Sam George nka ho asem o. O say enkosi da ben na MTN as a company ana Telecel as a company ebehwe sika omunya efri Ghana fo ho na omagina so amayen best service abena o say nkoma o di nyina no
No.
say yes aban wa asudie agency no wa asudie so ohwese omobeye but obisa omo ase sika omunya free yen ho no
Yes.
ada no mpeso omo twen ma regulator no be ka kire omo say mun provide better service and san mo provide nti e ho na abena efiba Sam George fan common say en common abena edi no omu tu anamon bi esesu omu tu in any case ebrebi na esesu obi ye wanye nti se ne omu ya onti ase se omu ye adwuma.
That's a problem that I will always have with Sam George offer.
What I say?
Yes.
Eti na me bisa se anope hi na ugina. Telcos no kwan omu de ye fa so no. Ne kwan so anu no ana set to say.
Offer telcos no there were problems omo face e wo krom ha. As well as say yes so are your krom ha so your problems you face how you use telcos. But offer say ohwe nkomo mu a offer enye na MTN ebenya problems and I say ebenya problems with MTN any other networks you use wo krom being it MTN being it Vodafone and as your friend Telecel Airtel Tigo enye na ebenya problems with them. We've had countless problems concerning calls concerning messages you send, concerning even mobile money. Niyama yenya. All other services are these networks provided at the mine offer. Not today or two. And young citizens need problems with them. But the real question here, I'm in public accounting committee want to say, these problems, it is still persistent. So as a minister of communication, what are the necessary steps that you will do to make sure say Uber curb these situations now? What telcos offer? It's a simple question. You've been You've been a minister. You've been a minister for the past year. I know very well. So obey a minister though. There has been some policies out by the problems within the telcos. There have been these problems. Who as a communication minister you've been abreast with. So what are some of the policies the problems are Ghanaians facing with MTN, with Airtel Tigo, with Telecel, and other matters now. It's what me are sustaining. Not those policies, not effective network. This was the question. So as a communication minister, just lay down your policies that say these policies now you go on. You collaborate with MTN, with the other networks, and you make sure say they will carry out effective job. Ghanaians also have this network in sense of accessibility sound common na didia and Sam George nifo offer say so edi sound common he is wrong because of say as a communication minister can policies factor committee don't cite a previous offer don't cite a previous administration because over there and over any previous administration at all any previous communication minister
Sam George di no
offer
Sam George in common say nti say who follow discussion na maame ni di ne nkomo na awie Sam George chiremu no na o chiremu obaayi anamon a omo atu ene sites a telcos no ACC nti no o chiremu say anamon de omo atu bi nti eye bre kakra ena yehia se beya services na ye pen ye nsabeka nti as far as the ministry ye concerned there omo ye adwuma ne na ha Sam George ne say ofa ne se ba bi abena free ban or hwe from a political angle.
That was where he was wrong
meba nti na me say wo wasem na wo bisa na has nothing to do with nti na me say de wo bisa na sa na tie de na Sam George oni for because mu aye na ode ma no wo hwe de obeto ye ene ne wo ye ni sese dia wa bo ne homoden
very good
o chate
so
stick to that okay
offer I was saying called stick to the best
that's what he was sticking to
offer say question e be ba na obe go back say the necessary development you know was saying ka previous administration and I say I'm offer Abna Mrs. Abna was part of the previous administration. In fact, he served as a minister of state or finance ministry. So definitely when you start to incite the previous administration, he is the vice chairperson of the PAC.
But Abna was not even coming from that point. Abna's position was that say nano ye anaya nya no nehia no na sem ne say muni ye na ye adwuma adwuma na muni ye no munye sika efiri ye ho nti se munye sika firi ye ho a ese se modwen ye ho na moye niema e ba ma ye nso adwuma na ye ne mo ye no ye benya mfaso what I say so Abna's issue was not to Sam George specific but to the telcos that ehun hia se mo twen ema regulator no eba na obe enforce say ese musi we wa ha ese musi we wa ha ansa no wasi sika na munya no mo mfa hwen
say eno na lead to that heated argument between them no because Abna was coming from a point it wasn't about politics but then he was focusing on telcos no say deba di ni betimi aye betimi so some problems we ho kwan offer and then Sam George also felt say we be on my ministry free banner he wants to incite him. It was also attacking the previous administration. There was saying the former communication minister.
Actually, Sam George,
when you come
Sam
from
George
that
was worried that he's not being given opportunity to explain himself. Oh, that was his fight. His fight was that
he was given that opportunity to explain himself.
But that one I agree with Sam George.
Over, I will never agree with him.
No, we had discussion na. Na abna edi nkomo at length. Sam George started say all bemu no and abna sign by. Sam George did not have an opportunity of explaining. Na seven. A hona no fever. That's why I'm saying that for me, it's not even about omo bantan. But yeah, you know omo ye adwuma. Adwuma na omo ne ye. Na. If you what you say? Because my man said me say, at the end of the day, I'm going to try my regulator. Ebem ansan adwuma say say mo ye no. Mo aye. We are in business. A partnership.
Yeah.
Mo jiska we ho. Sika no ye tua. Services na say say mo de mayen. Mo fa mayen. At the end na mo nye ready say mo de service no be mayen. Na mo twen say de bia this a regulator no bam.
Ansan na mo ye adwuma.
Ansan mo ye adwuma. What baby or no feedback na.
So that was the question here the man offer. So stick to your policies. Explain your policies
But
to the committee.
The policy.
Very good. Even if say you will come back and tell the committee say previous and offer this time around. Although say you will still have a conversation now. Say as low but now she also inside say the previous then administration in 2016 did not do these things well. Also. So the problems will still be there. Even can't 1992 in offer. That is not what we are talking about. Stick to your policies, stick to your plans, and tell. I mean, Mrs. said, these are the policies. Just like we said earlier on, these are the policies and I believe say, time. The telcos will function effectively. Ghanaians will have probably effective network. In the bit but of MTN here to go need telecell phone. They are taking Ghanaians for granted, especially with MTN. Of us, I will checking the population that we have in our country. Almost 70% of our population, the brain lives, it depends on MTN. How much would you commercial networking? Of since last 2 days, a camera says about how much 3 AM. Yeah, how much you the network here, you man. Say 3 AM, how much about 3 AM pay, na network national say jamming. If the network be jamming for even for 5 minutes, 7 minutes, businessmen who trade online, the kind of benefit to omulusu online because of network problems no far. Se kasa meka millions of Ghana cedis some businessmen lose because of probably ineffective network problems offer. But we still sit mute and allow these things to continue while they are looting us offer an auto bundler. Acha just an hour. We use iPhones to come no. Auto bundle almost 1.7 gigabyte offer acha an hour 1.7 gigabyte in abesa. When it comes to mobile money,
Yeah, I'm there.
offer say considerably. We check iPhones for Android phone now. We need consume.
Me bisate mo de yede.
Offer say and then we ask no tem be your online.
Na say ye nyina ntina bisate mo de yede.
Offer me internet here different from movie there.
And then say mo de yede. How say
but the enemy be brave.
na obi a beto data. Ye to data na ye obi a de ye. E na be kire say wo de be contem ana wo de contem. E bi afia wa hai. On to data. Na on ka say o ko download movie. On to data. Na on ka say e bi a ho na o de e koye videos ni ade. E bi a wo de be ye no.
Yes, me the enemy.
Obviously, the abodi ye no nso will become a factor.
Of I said the idea become a factor but previous years and net. The idea
but now it's
offer.
What did they tell me yet?
Of I said data there. Mimi trade.
What the yet day?
Offer me the trade online. Online, you man may offer.
A Juma fraud, Anna.
There be no fraud offer.
And today now the
offer there is a Juma there. You say, but you man may on my phone so any online there.
And in my country, you
offer them have to say.
Oh my
offer.
Oh, as a so young common.
Offer them to us. Oh, more hands in him say. Oh, more online. You must get in common meeting.
Online.
Say, offer. We have affiliate marketing. We have digital marketing. Your online trading. Offer me online trading. We trading with Bitcoin.
Yeah, that's right. Afia. And come on. telcos no araba no say di no otenase
Okay, from the point of telcos our omonye omadwuma yie ne de yenya obi ama no atwe abaasi wonmo so ebiri mo mo pa nka beboa yen wo Ghana ha no kwasem pa ne sese agina baabi akasa adwuma no mienso senan no e wo Ghana ha no as they are taking us for granted because utietie nsem no mu a MTN baabi a wo mutifire ye South Africa no yesi e ho de wo munye de wo ye wo Ghana ha ne bio
sa
wo munye de yenye data ye Maestro ka ho asema Yesu yeso ko South Africa data ye cheap papa minim se omunim se Ghana ha ye wo sika boro so ana se ye nim memma ene aban a ode policy ye adwuma ebe hye wonu ma ye de eye nti omo aba Ghana ena de omo pe ena wonu mo ye efri na anu kra de nsuo ehya asese emu na pe a na network so ateko an network ateko internet ne call nyina wo ha phone so na ba kitikiti ba ko pe ena da so enti anya dan ni atena wiase yanya dan ene ne adofo akasa woni a trade online enya MTN ko a se ye kano internet say internet ye fast na ebe ye adwuma connectivity ni ade a telecell sade no kra de enya MTN ba kuya na afọ mo enjoy monopoly wo Ghana nti omo etirimi omo debro so ena ofa Ghana 400 gina ho a emu be 95 ewo MTN so ena de aka no omo achama miensa no a omo so ewo ho no a unhu ne won mo ye na se ye pa na nanka tete Vodafone no womo gina womo na so ye adwuma menye sure se nka MTN fo betimi abebrofo ye so sa telcos no womo nyina adwuma nye nanso MTN de no de nyam ebro so fi se womo onipa no a ene hwe mobile money e ba ye ene kra na Vodafone fo se telise womo ye bia hwe kane pa se wo pe obi a woye momo agent na woye Vodafone cash a wo be bra Ghana ha umase ha
ba eno de afia ye pon a on ma me nkyere oba ko bi
sa ba ku bi aba o
ye pon ya
matia enso MTN uduru ha no anya nipa uduru ha no anya nipa uduru ha no anya nipa enti MTN fo no de edwa no wo magye akasa wo mo besom yen yie data boarding e wo Ghana ha enso hwan e na eka bia ma yen Sam George ba ye me kai pa so ye se wo tu ho anamon anka ne data MTN 40 so ye wo hwan na obeka kire se omo de kakra asoso ama yen 399 sika 4 million no akari na de ato data jama se 240 gig o se den eno se o download azigi ne hwan anu mu idia enche o na asa
azigi no o se de ade na se de ade
leak videos leak
okay
omo mo Telegram no mo
ebe san
se leak e ade a o se be
tina wa de no san
over the me find yes I over say na makacho me ye digital
enti no kwasem se minister de 9 AC form na wo puti telcos no on their toes ama wo masom ye yi a wonya ne saa emayen now back to PAC enhyiamu no enra e course no
afi mama announce phone line
I announce it
02063344646 02063344747 anopa nkomo yi obetimi aba na wonso odo de abren afia
public accounts committee atnase eye wo mu fie wo mra ena minister akotena wanim chairman and as a chairperson a bisa na question minister esese wi yi ano menya sure se mfonso wom se enyiano no koso no se wo kai bibi no opese wo sim no interject a eye mfonso yesese wo koto se nipa mienu okun abisa se na ano de na si Sam George asmo kan se abra not today no kire se Bibi wo baby into abo maame na to ho da. Yati ha ye public accounts committee sittings bebre eye saa no mo nkomo no ekọ. Obisa wasam na wo kwa dru baby a wasan interject ebe ka bibi hwem ebisa wo baby. Na fe wo to asokọ. Enti Sam George de no enya something peculiar ebi nsi da. Ene esie anu nti kikikikikiki saa se. Omo mo kokọ to da bia saa asem no gu so a wo kirem no na lawyer de pem wan fa mpem a ne nchiremu a wo hwehwe ne no kura bi no wonya enti na ese Sam George nya abotre asa wa bo maame no ato ho ena ope edabie na waka nasem akire no to the extent that menya sure so mo public accounts committee nyina timi bo chairperson ni din sa abena not today no the in fact Sam George entwe yi because anye biaya se wo free opposition mu na e bakra no ye de natural committee ano se wo montoto ne ma se de be ya yesika sem ho nkontabuo be koso nti se wo bisa wasem na wo yi ano kọ na bibi asim na wo pese wo bam ebe kan sa na wato aso na me hu mfonso bi e wo ho Sam George anya botre na ekodru tournament sa bia na anu asem bi e wo ho e na wo mo trash but no kra no enye setting atesa o nsa maame no a na ote Sam George nche na ofili awkward na se maame na ye basa
ofili embarrass minister egu ne ho animu
na awaye basa in fact me de ntwa yi ama
yenko sampa no pe na ye ne Osmond eni nkomo onuama ache hello Hello.
Hello.
I'm watching me in Tiwano.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Right, Dr. Bright, Ousu Prempe Kumasi Mianin Nkomo. Dr. Marche.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Pacho BNT Wanope.
Never Marche, or Panelio, no, Muso, Mutina. Now, me, Martin, in contact. Was normal SME badly by analyzing factors that are affecting our network services. If you are being technical, anything you will say, some of them you cannot avoid. Some of them natural phenomenon and of course. Say the local rain, storm near the adeno. So network services they use long radio waves and short radio waves and normally transmitted. And she said, a situation whereby you have rain, and I say be a storm, be a interference, and no problem. It's something that you cannot avoid. It is a can't say on network or moon say trust in analyzing factors are affecting your network services. But you're not the more mamon.
Hello, Doc. Hello.
Hello.
Doctor free line is wrong.
Also.
Okay. Nti mami misa say, is it because of Sanya Maninti and yenya network challenges now when there is rain and now weather situation is bad?
Exactly. It's something that you cannot avoid. For example, if you have a bad weather and you are trying to use a chopper or a helicopter, you are likely to be a plane crash. You can't avoid it.
May I then ask, Mr. Say, how is it that other countries having the same challenges as Yenyano, they are able to have stable networks?
Yes, this is technology driven. You have to bear in mind that they have advanced in the level of technology as compared to developing countries. It is unlikely the transmitters they are using. It's not easy for you to get them. So that's all about technology.
Whilst I understand to a point, is it not the responsibility of the telcos to explain to young customers some of these challenges?
Yes, exactly. They don't actually educate us. That is the whole thing. If you don't create awareness that these things can interfere with our network services, people will never know. And the blame will come on you. That is the whole thing.
Right. Yeah, that's the Anope. Afia. Hello, Nana Kwating.
Viva.
Mienti Anope.
Ayo, me mamuna achi. Ema mo ate phones wachi. Na enkomo amudi makoma so enkomo pa ni ni ya. Esanse se wo hwe teku sino a ye de bi ni se ye nya credit egu ye phone so. Ni ye se na ko. So e father optical se wa yo se de yo so mali ye de ni. Enti mu na mo ye moduma na ese mo beye. Sa MTN amadi bia ya ngono na ayi network crampon so a ye fresh eye 020 ED so mu ne wenu mu wasemu se ye ku de MTN no kwa so fra ema me do tumi ka cho so ola igu so kama edum enso na enum yo mira we eya asem papa na bidie ebra obampani ebubo emrantien bedreji ma ne ba na mamu mani agifa he said ye de mrantien no eye djuma ebeboa amani ema yi nanso se ya hwe ya ta nante koya ne begu omampani ni ma se omu ankasa nsu a omu panyi no omampani mama se wo penatemo sabe asem no kwa ni abansa no osere ani ade Sam George we woni eye transport minister no wo mu NDC for no papa but NDC for no any na form Sam George we atunya transfer ma ya to data mu a obi anka wo hwe obi anka one overnight ya sole ya ade tena ya to data mu ni ade tabo na export la usu asayi ewo ya kwa ni ka sa o so duma no de na adwuma ye ni wa kwajo ye ka no crash nyame ani mu na extra adwuma no ye na o ma teku no kwa mu nya de mu yewe Sam George adwuma no wontumi nya na sabio wo mu ade enso sa blante no kwa pa aka ye sabi ye ba ni o fa no ni ka no kwa nkyere no hwe o ma paniza won wo de besi won no bu ade o won wo mfa asem kwa nhye ni mu Mr. Mama de ba ko won ho se no me de me NDC de me nya de am support om de then so de ba ko me won ho se wa ka mi de tia ko ya no osre wo ka sa kra no osre no ade no mu nsu no na wo a public power officer na wo timi ko tra a live in camera na wo ye ne ma di stadium wa na wo spa wo timi do mampani wa de fini wo then so onkola na no mu ye adwuma no wo mbegu aban na ni ma se fitu akra me de be ma nyame nhyiram
ye da se anope yenko northern region fatal
senior
mientie wa anope
Fatal, good morning. Me fa konye travecha incoming national chairman won to me chairman ba ko fe. Asama mudi atu ye nim no. Mo program na ye me fe pa. Yawura ai Sam George. Na sisi ba no krampo me jati manu. Atem bia ye bisa ne bia di se o han na ni. Wo muna na nim krampo. Na obakaya boss Emra ye mami eslawusiye communication minister. Satam no, de ben Sam George on ye Ghana for. Oti kapen eslawusu on ye ne juma yi, network ni nye, si se mi no kasai, brand kasa no krampo, auto data kakra, si se anata, auto data kakra nata. Na Ghana ha, Telecel, MTM, omu juma no krampo si se enso eni o. And so it is same no kata enso munaka krebi na network natiko oni obi di nkombo krampo ti se natiko obatene nkasa ontine nkasa saa na ebeye sabdo ye bisa wa se wo krampo wo se wonya butre maga na fo na wonyi anu yiye o ebia munya butre me pamucha munya butre mreni se ye beye ye juma yiye enu anu no o hai wani abra obiti su krampo sa problem ni ho krampo o ti problem wo nti to mra bia Ghana NDC MPP no enema obia ye de ope ayana wacha national chairman mam chairman won't me mam bidawati
Chiawi de nsabe kameda se anopei Afia na o kan bibia ansa na yakọ
nti de me sre ne se to da ya Sam George wonya abotre kakra because
the tolerance level
wa dru empanimfo animu dia ese se odi ani die bia ese fatama wo mo to the extent say abana no de in fact entwa yi because committee tinasia nipa na wote adwam no ye address no with needing in as much as I wona nyina ye parliamentarians no enkyere se obetimi akọ committee so akọ ye de wo penti e bestre no tolerance level no maninya yi
Samjata Joy ya na wenya abotre why you would only have to reflect the one who is leading Professor Mills the lead or say it's a more reflective subanso it is that you call an kind reflect the president who has appointed you. You do baby na mwenya abotre na abran komo na ye nyina ye nkomo na no odi no. Yeah. Because you see network no a hard dream pa. Covid
Ofa
onkra no se me dia ma.
Odi ofa na onim. Sam George we and odi nkomo bi. E na ma me hu se ofa na ho ade ansa na woko committee no so. Or say we are returning the favor previously or not na committee ni so what the year on. It's no more feel say or no bar or a very soft person to crack with, but don't know a tough guy. And so much in the
right, ebusia for your die ho aba na afi agudi mu nsem se de nsa kan ye de ama minim se national team Brazil list na aba no sa na te ampa because me hu obi wom but Luther ba ye be de hu nkomo ye ba sisia. We are no pese de ya kan simu ya. Na niam aye okay pa.
Adanyame ase.
Na anope mi enko na mi misal. Brazil team sheet na aba na. Eno na aba na.
Officially World Cup squad na aba.
Na João Pedro din enimu ana ewo.
Omo yina free.
So say omo yina free.
Yes.
Na za woni omo so nya adwen se de me omo nya adwen.
Coach na chirechiri.
Sawo.
Yes, also we very sad for no. Now no best story be na between Oni Neymar. Nti na no name prime wo force you in medical nra.
Or the name are replacing João Pedro.
Yes.
Sesen.
Say Neymar was so the physical condition but or check tactical decisions in the man arrive say or the Neymar be call ahead of a year Pedro. At the same time, Pedro age one nafa. Neymar we between the last
age one nafa no. Minim say what here the very recent interviewer like instinct ayeno. Also omo catch them that time omo eyi na film 2010.
Yeah.
Say age is on his side. Omoye ages on the side. Like Quincy and your World Cup media and one or the Jai football you coach. This are Cassan assessing.
Because Brazil squad, you know, who share a place via and yet Pedro.
The name of the account.
The marker.
And then one can say, Nana say, the day you overcall a cup in the eye.
Now, the day any team crowd on the statement about season about the
almost season, we are on any move future.
Such as say, or quite what you are dear.
And come to us.
David. Nasamun himself, Trasamode, and yes, Anate.
Matthias,
almost call relegation. Call relegation, Usika, or they ball home brand. Is shot. It is a players be one. No, with Sika, Mutiama, or the Muni one there. And some Mujam Moko. Okay. It may not necessarily be one money home. Yeah. I don't know where, sir. The money wants to come off. The campaign for the day you, modern bar or bono. Airtime of an nut bread or coin when the performance is the same. Now I not bread a ball. Oh, I'm going off. Now should be. I didn't even say now open now heavy. Or quiet when you're born and water. Oh, David, say this when you're water. Yes, and I know it. The money bonnet team playing with your fan started from bench. It will be 15 minutes, no abim. Not or started from
the Marfo campaign
or started from bench.
Or the day
from bench.
This is a move as I can say Chelsea ni boy no call Bayern Munich no. Me am fan baby because Nicholas Jackson.
So call your mom who don't mean to.
And to ufi bench batch say wa bon
offer. O mom who say
yes am come on na wudi ana.
Na you me start here. I want to start here. And I say ball no wo form you butima bobi. Now free bench bar.
But who football achi? Who nim say strategically your players be over. That net na bench no free bench abey adwuma.
Of about they did there. No World Cup.
Or time no, I would time boy. Who nyari you?
They did there. The carrier with blasters were we.
Nah, that's a ham.
Right, brother Selsone, Bradano Pa, na Daybreak Jumadie, and the legend. Kojo Marfo ni team at the Abraham no omobe sorry no do na anopa bia go kansem nsem ye sima aduasa na de ho abeforim na bia so aye kama na nensem pini abode beda ye besanu ye de fisem beba honorable sports minister wakasa south de bewram ewo Black Stars assistant coach in some outdoor there to the Augustine Okra also no na de free Ronaldo Misunku Malewa ho when in some pini adeba Brazil squad na ba na players in celebration say the city and no Arsenal actually Burnley ewo Emirates e win 1-0 say aka one game na Arsenal G Premier League no ya no sempi ebeba in somehow do I de Abraham no edoso na ye betwa se no mabeka me di edilu again production no eye Abu Diaby ena ne opanyin popropo woti mfide na cha wo chinchwa ma bia kama junior osaso behind the camera ya Lord Samoa Habib Mohamed the special one Sasra Ricardo Varas the punch man omunyina etechire di dwumadien April na yenshan sam na say eso emfa emam ewo afisemu a ye be sha se eso edi afri honorable sports minister onmonyamfo Kofi Idi Adams wakasa fa African Senior Championship to dano was it went all na ninyina ye kamada na esa eye fair was it went well yenten sama honorable sports minister it went well.
Is at the start with power to be able to power some of the equipment, but later all that was resolved. In the course of the competition also we witnessed some athletes whose voting polls broke, but people thought that those voting polls were provided by Ghana. No. Every athlete who took part in the poll vote came with their own voting polls. The voting polls provided by the LOC was not used, and it's a standard thing. Yours is to provide the landing surface, the crossbar, and then the stand poles. The voting poles themselves are equipment that the athletes normally bring because they want to compete with what they are comfortable with. The only thing is that the ITUs will certify it for them. So the Beninua, whose voting poll broke, came with his own voting poll. the South Africans came with their own voting polls. Indeed, for the South Africans, they have to even pay deposit at Aviance at the Kotoka International Airport, or Accra International Airport, so that when they are returning, they will go and show proof that the equipment they brought in was not to stay in Ghana, but it was just to take part in the competition. Then their money will be refunded to them. So let it sink down well with everybody that the voting polls that were snapping were not voting polls provided by Ghana. They were voting.
And your honorable sports minister Kofi Adams and I would say African Championship no athletics to kama na poor vote na nkrofo eduane bubu ye no enya omo and provide ma omo omo ane de omo ade baaye na wo de wade aba na aba bebu a ublemu Ghana say na on do fi say Africa Athletics Championship no bibia kama owie no se nkrofo ka ba feeding in some our championship and as honorable sports minister Ekasaya about the feeding.
There was absolutely no problem with feeding. You see, the problem I have with the media, you speak with an athlete outside who first started by saying he was giving half egg. Then he changed the story from half egg to 1 egg. Then he said he was giving 1 chicken. Then he changed again that he confronted them and then they gave him 2 chicken. That alone should alert you that the athlete was not telling you the truth. Then he now went further to say in South Africa he eats 9 eggs. We did not make provision for any athlete to be fed 9 eggs. If any athlete has special diet, there's a form that you fill so that the LOC can factor those needs in. Nobody filled the form that they needed that kind of special diet. So one athlete speaking on some levels of need should not have become the running story. Because on that same day, South African athletes were being fed and full of smiles and thanking the people. But we were not interested in talking about those ones. We were interested in one athlete who did not provide any evidence beyond his own statement. Food was one of the things that the LOC did very well. They scheduled it in such a way that 2 groups were providing breakfast, another set of 2 providing lunch, another set providing dinner, so that there will be no issues. So breakfast was timely, lunch was timely, and dinner was also timely, and there was always enough. There was enough. But of course, they will not make provision for 1 person to collect 9 eggs. Of course, that provision was not made.
Sports minister na church say aduane de buso hwa LOC na de baako a ode ball ma baso pa nuane sem na South Africa ni branch e obaya ono ehase na oto ayampia na kosia ye man half ewi ase osi kosua onyafu ewi ase South Africa da bia odidi o man kosua makoma 9 na Ghana o ma make provision say obia benya kosua 9 na ono ankasa ne teammate ahodo edidi ye amoma ne gye eda se eno na central force o mo ka ho asem na o mu jai pa enu ensema sports minister edi atuga yemrob ewo under 17 the Black Starlets African Cup of Nations no omuguso represent Ghana na normal first game Ghana ebo mepacho draw yan Algeria against Senegal ye lusuye na ye the last game ebo against South Africa no enaroma media officer Sheikh Tofik akasa na wakasa about U17 kugona omu edi ye lose no yentie nsama Sheikh Tofik Ekafa.
That the players put in, the effort that the technical team put in, the quick substitutions were indications that the team wanted to capitalize on the numerical disadvantage of Senegal and win the game. But this is football, and sometimes some strange things happen. For those of us who were watching at the stadium, we didn't have the opportunity of watching a replay of the goal that Ghana scored. But for those of you who watch television, I've spoken to a lot of people who said they saw nothing wrong with the goal that the referee disallowed. You know, when the referee even went to the video support review, he spent close to 3 minutes. Clearly an indication that he was indecisive with whatever decision that he wanted to take, but eventually that was ruled out. You play a game again, you get a penalty, and it is missed. You know.
And yeah, Sheikh Tofik and HHM. Now Ghana game against South Africa, and so Sheikh Tofik Ekasafa.
7 p.m. in Ghana. So our training schedule will change from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. this evening. So we are yet to go to training, but yesterday after the game, it's understandable. Psychologically, everybody was down, everybody was affected. The entire team was quiet, the players were quiet, the technical team was quiet. We had a meeting right afterwards with the management committee, who were also disappointed, but we had discussions, and they also pointed out a few things that they think we have to take a closer look at. And I believe that if those measures are put in place going into the game against South Africa, hopefully, inshallah, we'll be able to pick the man.
Sama, Sheikh Tofik, Black Starlets, under 17 media officer at the MIA. General the Black Stars as Nina say Black Stars assistant coach or Pagina Yefeno Roger Disa on my introduction. Now yen intro no conference on my introduction.
To be back in Africa, you know, it's I said to somebody today, I said, you know, Africa is not a place, it's a feeling, you know, and it's amazing how in a short stay it's been fantastic, you know, great people, fantastic people, I must say. I didn't expect like such a warm welcome, and the reception has been outstanding, and I've done, but so far so good. I've really enjoyed it. I know it's only been 3 days, but the right decision for sure. Yeah, look, born in Mozambique, so an African as well, and moved to South Africa as a young kid and grew up there and played my football. Most of my football I played in South Africa, and I had the fortune of beating Ghana in '96 in the African Cup of Nations, and that was one of the highlights of my national career. And we went on to win that for South Africa, and then after that, you know, it was playing a bit more, and then I got into coaching very early. My transition from player to coach.
Black Stars assistant coach Roger Disa. And all Kabibi Kakra fan home, so no South Africa, Osiakan Kakra, we are 96 African Cup of Nations, Obehu de Toja, and Wakan Sempi, their fan, ye Busano timer, Onya call from Carlos Cruz, and a Black Stars A players, no, Tamonia call from Rami assistant coach, and say no fan, and Osaka about the players.
Overnight, you know, he texted me as he does at 2-3 o'clock in the morning, and I wake up early at about 5:30, 6, and when I saw the message, I went okay. And the first thing I had to do was tell my wife, you know, and but she's become accustomed to it. She just says, "When are you leaving? Tomorrow?"
As usual.
You know, as usual.
Yeah.
You know?
She knows you're on the move.
And you know, it straight away I replied to him, and my reply was pretty simple. I just said, "Let's go." Not at all. It's a World Cup, and it's Ghana.
Yeah. And it's Ghana. Is that
I think that's enough for any football guy to not have to think about it.
Sure.
Yeah, I've watched a lot of film. You know, a lot of film. It's just video after video, game after game. I now fly out to go, you know, to.
And we are Black Stars assistant coach Roger Disa, and Otis Workers, and the say working here in Ghana. Say. And it's Ghana Jumano, Uram Wahana no Meko.
It's I said to somebody today, I said, you know, Africa is not a place, it's a feeling, you know, and it's amazing how when I get here, I get that feeling that I'm in Africa, and it's a warm feeling. Never mind the warmth of the weather, but you feel that, you know, and of course, you know, having worked with him in a lot of the Asian countries, you know, like Iran, Qatar, Oman, and Portugal, and so on, and to be back in Africa is fantastic. And I did work with him in Egypt, but to be honest, it's a different type of Africa, you know.
And no edit here. Now, me and Black Stars Jesse Kwaku Ananse Jesse na yebesha for the World Cup. Na video no Ghana Football Association panyi for be posti here. Ema apu diabi ebe chechire mu edemamo. Na aboso ba na mejapaye yensai entie the Kwaku Ananse story, the brain behind Black Stars Jesse.
Would actually find. What they found that night was a spider. The Akans called him Anans, the trickster god, the keeper of every story ever told, the one who carried so many tales in his body that the sky god Nyame turned him into a spider so he could weave them forever. The brothers stood still. They watched him work. Moonlight on silk, threads crossing threads, a pattern emerging from a single thread and patience. By morning, they were no longer hunters. When they laid the first cloth before the Asante Haini, the first king of the Ashanti, he looked at it once and named it Kente. But every weaver in Ashanti has always known the truth. It was never just cloth. It was a web. This is the away jersey, white. The color of the first cloth Anans taught them to weave. The threads crossing it in red, yellow, and green. The colors...
And no, Black Stars Jesse, Kwaku Ananse Jesse, no. The story behind, and yeah, Kwaku Ananse story, no. And no much them the entire Black Stars Jesse, no. Ubon say Ananse, as 110 time. Na edita Jesse, no. Na yenye our Augustine Okra. Watch it the entire still Oguswa, no day. Oguswa Osia Kai, Nanoma Ekoye Edma Augustine. Okra Osiakan Edema Bichim United.
Yeah, I think the few being that is an 24 cano, and I think the to me, no. The season I'm taking is my emergency board here, and on the pitch and off the pitch. Anything as you whom they be a stronger, Miss Meeting here. You see, I can't come on, I hear now. As a player, so I watch this as so far near my serious football. I think the football
na ahweye na viso de sinani so esa obebo football na mayamusa August no kra yenusa Dabian wafa si Ronaldo esa o role model na o die no sua every si Ronaldo ho
ko we found we say I consider that ka be 2 years been am so da if say the real Ronaldo you know I think say you tina is you know I think say the real Obon washen husi ya obon bono ya active no. I think yes the same steps now. I think say be boy. And I think Ronaldo steps ni sometimes me see the me steps in the area where na me so me become
na enu ya tie nyina so mfa fisem nsi na ya mo amano ne nsem tem emfa emamna nkrofa maman so muhu de etodwa e wo so enura a Premier League game back etimi eba so ewo Emirates agoprama no so abra Arsenal a boy against a Burnley na eno game no ba na wieye na Arsenal asha baako ama Burnley antimi ante na eno na ultra highlight no eno the German international Kai Havertz and a twatna a bar quotodra Edma Arsenal Bobo Kono na a corner and a Bukayo Saka Preda pat na Kai Havertz and Bono at the twatnam. Nessa Arsenal after 7 City, Eshe Arsenal no Arsenal bought 4 games without conceding a single goal. And so I will a Premier League no and just almost bomb who am dempa. Now so far send a Premier League table no is yet here. Arsenal bought 37 games. So far we're winning 25 for draw 7. We're losing 5 or 82 points. Man City and so about 36 games. So for 77 points. And the games better our Premier League no and the 2 games and a pepper so but your Bournemouth, Man City, and we are 6:30. Southern Chelsea 7:15. Or ball against Tottenham. I'm a come na Chelsea training ra. where Chelsea preparation, training and Jaya, prepare for Tottenham Hotspur, Echasampa, Omonia Bressa and the Bia Kama, also finish season, our good notes in a Biasui. Now, my own farmer, Eso Roma, David Raya, and not occupy another clean sheet this season. We keep 19 clean sheet. Our Premier League, where you call Arsenal club recorder in a single season. Now, a war where David Seaman occupy 19 clean sheet, 93-94. David Seaman, occupy 19 clean sheet, 98-99. David Raya, as well as 19 clean sheet, 2025-2026. Now, David Raya, on say for the last 3 seasons, or no and a Golden Glove Award, or more German as a best air goalkeeper. Now, Wariakte Akansam Kakra, as well at the Afasa 3 consecutive Coca-Cola Golden Glove Award. No, Nayantian Summer, opening event David Raya, editor.
In a row, how do you feel?
I feel amazing. It's great to everyone. Staff that without them it wouldn't be possible, so we're really happy and delighted to achieve this amazing trophy.
How much clean sheet do you think was your best?
Tonight it was really important to keep that clean sheet.
Na no game ne ba na wi ma Mikel Arteta yehunsa ono so ne family omo enjoy kakra wo enura Emirates ago promotion nso ese Arsenal this particular season omo last home game Premier League no na enura omo eboy no ehu Arteta ne family eso omo enjoy kakra na enura Arteta deliver speech yente ni speech no was it total transformation and a room with Arsenal.
Mikel Arteta! Mikel, it has been an incredible season so far because there is still work to do. And here we are in our final home game of the season. So I understand you would like to say something special to our special supporters.
Na Arsenal playing for Mikel Arteta etimi di Premier League no be ni statue esi Emirates Stadium na nim sade Arsene Wenger omo eye ni statue after winning the Premier League no EDC Stadium na nim sa na Mikel Arteta eso edi Premier League na omo ebeye na Arteta yebusan say na Bournemouth game no obey fan ana onya fan obeta Bournemouth echi ana yente kakra from Arteta.
Basically West Ham that 24 hours. Fan 24 hours.
The biggest ever. Of Andoni and all the players and all the people that are supporters of Bournemouth. I think we are all out because we know that means.
Na yanko Pep Guardiola was shutting Crawford down. About season banaway ya or dead Jumano Petro be through alcohol and answer on court yet to Enzo Maresca na yente Pep and some found.
Knew you were leaving. Next, Ali. I was your man with that. So many times I have one more year.
Now, Ramame Jan Wright and run a celebration after Arsenal winning game against Burnley. Usha opinion or enjoy Papa now or celebrate Tamabia. As what to me Ayakama now Jimmy Carragher at the team of the season. So at the Abba. Usha Jimmy Carragher, the team of the season. Me patron mo de atosona enkrofo. As why enjoy Kakra and no and a dasono or say Raya. Matheus Nunes, Saliba, Gabriel, Nico O'Reilly, Declan Rice, Bernardo Silva, Semenyo, Bruno Fernandes, Jeremy Doku, Ellen Holland, Sasuna, Gary Neville, as within the team of the season, as so at the Abba, also the Raya, Timba, Saliba, Gabriel, Really, Dika Rice, Fernandez Semenyo, I got Thiago Haaland and Bernardo Silva. Young Ram El Brazil and Carlo Ancelotti the Brazil. The final World Cup squad, as so at the Abonte Ababetuga. Now try the final World Cup squad. Alisson Becker, Ederson Morai, Weverton. Defenders, Alexandro Silva, Bremer, Danilo, Douglas Santos, Gebra Magalhaes, Ibanez, Leo Pereira, Marquinhos, West Luco Metfordesa, Bruno Guimaraes, Casemiro, Danilo Santos, Fabinho, Lucas Paqueta, Okwa attackers Hendrick, Gebra Martinelli, Igor Thiago, Luis Enrique, Matheus Cunha, Neymar, Rafinha, Ryan, Vini Jr. Na mame notable players omo absent omo enko World Cup no binye so mapra otwa Brazil, João Pedro, Savino, André Santos, Gebra Jesus, Joelinton, Richarlison, and Anthony enya desa mapra eso omo enko biase due to technical decision. Na so far mame Brazil roster Uche roster the Eramo the World Cup after set squad and coach no Carlo Ancelotti captain Eso I am Marquinhos and a top scorer El Brazil Neymar and so far rising star Eso Hendrick and notable omission João Pedro, average age 27 years, World Cup title Eso I 5 and no idea by young momenta Ancelotti nemu ye obo Neymar day Ese Neymar Beko World Cup no ye some moment in the video no time obo Neymar day yenti.
Júnior está na Copa!
Olha aí!
Neymar Júnior vai pra Copa do Mundo!
A quarta Copa do Neymar. 2014, 2018.
A última vez. Olha a reação das pessoas no auditório.
Na me pacho fans almost celebrating Neymar at their UTC street out also El Brazil no anije at their Neymar enya collab na fans na celebrate na omo eje money na omo share at their Neymar team enya collab opium El Brazil World Cup no eno omo Germany me pacho mame Chris Guedes oni Neymar na nkasa omo so celebrate here after say Neymar nya collab no Bia so kama na enro Marcelo eso celebrate Neymar ni nyasa Marcelo so se Neymar tim enya World Cup na ni age ama bia kama na Calvin girlfriend Calvin no and obo edma efula na ne girlfriend friend Calvin said Neymar nya call up on ente de Calvin ye no phone so na João Pedro se mfama mo ese ono obeye fan obeye support team no ahwa bia so atimi aye kama enye João Pedro ni post ene sama odi abano no na me pacho ensam donso mame eye Marquinhos obe skipper the reaction timer your born din so wanya World Cup collab no and one family ni enjoy kakra na enwachi Hendrick eso reaction Hendrick on send family no Edika celebrate pa Tam Hendrick the family ni na omo so etis Hendrick World Cup no omo celebrate kama na mam Hendrick na nkasa on the wife so etina ho enjoy it time omo nemu no eso the rising star Okopium at the World Cup no na enwachi Matheus Cunha as a celebration on the family na anu tempa abra almost enya collab no na bibia so ayekamba yenyina so na yemfa nsema odoa ye boabo no ene anopai ewo amononi nsemu no yemfa ensia na ebo 3 p.m. ye the Future Sports the extended version 3 to 5:45 Tim ni nyina betena se ne dia ba beda me beda obi bia se ya dia nsem na no pai sima aduasa de tetew ya de besia na the legend Kojo Marfo the voice of the voiceless one big brother maestro and Kaakyire the Daybreak jumade no ato aso ediama ya de obi bia se ya crowd
of them are all here. Daybreak on Fachet Television. Bison Imperial Global Shipping and Logistics at Daroma. And Afia Millennium Constructions. One kahun and an opebia yetnasia. Did a one kata and common ebro. The Daily Graphic this morning says President unveils homegrown healthcare funding. 3 billion cedis unlocked from uncapped National Health Insurance Service. $1 billion cocoa financing plan to deepen domestic bond market. Bank of Ghana and Ministry of Health set to recruit 6,000 volunteers for free primary health care. These are stories on the front page, the Daily Graphic.
Daily Graphic, the Obokrata no, any edifi and Kumodi no say, anopay said the Yenida no. Omampeni John Dramani Mahama ni mfoni ena edaho ya Daily Graphic ebone ho amane. Na mampeni akopie 79th World Health Assembly asewo Geneva, Switzerland. Eho ena wo kasa. Ena wo kyerese. Ghana de sesei oman wan kasa de nhyehyɛ egu akwan mu ya won mo pesika e de abo opomden edwumadie ne ho nhyehyɛ. Fi sesei ankasa no kanemwa ya na efiri kwasikoko ensem eba no emabiem enti wo yoman na wo bibrem na atenasia se wo twɛn donor support e de afiri kwasikoko ho a ubedu dokno kwa ti Ghana enam ne nhyehyɛ ahodo so eboa ama pomden ho nsema fa ne ntuma pefra na bra bia etwamo National Health Insurance Scheme no na limits e de da ho na wo mo ba ye obeyi niema efiri ho no aboa pa ama wono mo enya sika e de ato akire 3 billion Ghana cedis ena sa NHIS na omo nka pe yeyi limit ahodo a na wo ho ni nyina afiri ho no e de aba ni nyina ye sika abeso oman no asene mu ya wo apomden enhyehyeye ene ehon nsem ho a eniema ekoso wano e de ma oman Ghana mampani Mahama nkomo ya wokodi wo Switzerland eno no na Yewra Johnson Pandit 6Am awoye amrado eda oman sikakra bia Baltime Bank of Ghana no so ni mfoni eda he wo kasa efa $1 billion cocoa financing plan ya wo mode eba ho na wo say eyen hyehyɛ foforo ya wonomo ede ebebo foto ede aboa ama cocoa ataye no afa no ntoma pefra eba ne saa so a ebema oman Ghana domestic bond no emu atumi apagya pa na akonani mu yie ena Bank of Ghana governor aboho amane Ministry of Health enso ekire se oba befa volunteer for enipa empemunsia 6,000 na won mo aboa free primary health care no enti wo pepa na wonimdie ba ko mienu bi wa pomden ho na mpanimfo de ofa ntetie mu ka ho na ebetumi aboa na wo de onimdie no apia free primary health care no a sani pet sa no na Ministry of Health ebefa wonom na wo maboa mama mpani ani so ade hunu no etumi abema no pay Daily Graphic.
Bison Imperial Global Shipping and Logistics at Daroma enema ye difri amanone eba oman Ghana mu de difri oman Ghana ekwa amanone ni nyina Bison Imperial Global Shipping and Logistics adwumakuo no ebeboa na waye no saa pepepe de ama yenka no mo a mo peka mo hu ka mo pese ye to ka no edisi poso ye de bedu habwa yenyi na yemfa mrem wo ba bia mote no ye be ne saa pepepe de ama wo hu nkonwa efe o pese ye de nkonwa no brew ye be ne saa ama wo hu apono o pese ye to apono no ede brew ye be ne saa pepepe de ama de eye ofe de ope de wani je ho no ka na yemfa mfiri ama no ne emra European market no ye wo ho a ye ye adwuma ka ben na ope ka kire na ye nye ho adwuma ma ni nyina ne se ye ne o be ye nkrata asem na obedi wo hu ni wo ye ne saa ye nso ye be som kwan strong koso enkran tema community 2 Kotoka International Airport and they Accra International Airport to obedu asante mantemu a kuma se de chemso ehona ya so ye no ewo Bison Imperial Global Shipping and Logistics into exports and imports. Yakoya nimwa na yafa the Ghanaian Times. The Ghanaian Times this morning At 79th World Health Assembly, falling health aid threatens millions. President Mahama cautions world leaders. The other stories as Minerals Commission pilot drone surveillance in the Western region. Minority leader warns of job losses over 1D, 1F cancellation. And governor calls for prudent decisions to sustain this inflation. The Ghanaian Times.
Ghanaian Times, the Wokrata no so edibi enam ene anope ya yebomu amanie. Na mampeni John Dramani Mahama mfoni edaha ne nkomo ya wodi ye ewo Geneva, Switzerland. Ewo ewiase nyina apomden enhye mu kese ya ekoso no. Ena obo amanie no obo kokose. Say health aid emwa ya na kwasikoko ediba ankane no pa maman edi epia won mapom de ho hyehyɛ no emabiem na ba emabiem no ye betimi edi wo haw aba ebrem kra no edi wo haw kase abedua enipa opepe ne akire bebre so efiri sɛ enye oman bia na nahodie so na kwankro enye oman bia ne pa ne ho awu na sene mu enti so oman ne nya kakrawa nanka ebi nso efiri baabi ba na ebeso anu a nanka yemu a na wo mo de apia apomden hyehyeye ene esi no akane no mo de banyina wo mo agyanti eba saa enipa dodo a ene saa yare mo wa ne te no won ho ekire won enti wo bokokose eye wo haw ena health aid ene emabie mu no ede eba timpani function wonya bibi emfa ho na Minerals Commission empani force said de be ya galam say ekon ya wafa to won ho so won mo betimi edi so nkonim enti won ma hyase edi drone enenam ewiemu ewo Western region ya won mo ehye won a egun sase so na won mo etuf magudie gidigidi de enamra kwan so ya wo sei omen ensasetam minority leader Yera Alexander Afenyomakin and was said one district one factory ya aban etwamo no de oha beba nipa bebre ebehwere onwuma enti omo ensan enhwe biem na governor of the Bank of Ghana no Yera 6Am wono so se enhyehyɛ bebre na mpanimfo edi egu akwan mu se de beya inflation ya enne aba fomo na eye na eboa no ensan enhwatiri empeja enkosoro manemfa wo haw emabiem na National Communications Authority NCA mpanimfo ene de to telcos won mo esom ye gina baabi akasa enwuma no anim se sika Ghana fo etua edema wonom sika wode to data wode to credit ani ade no enye so mfaso en wonya som ye sese telcos no esom timamufo ye customers ani wo mo didwa no nya sa som no na wo som wo mo munya mfaso bia emfiri de sese kokwasa adwuma won mo eye no so enti sade abna wasayasare Public Account Committee titire ni dani abre ho na wase minister ntu ho na mo no saa na NCA panin so age atom mo se ane telcos no wo mo milk Ghana for dodo sika no wo mo jesu nya wo mo ho esum na wo mo soma no pay Ghanaian Times.
We move on with the Chronicle newspaper. Mahama tells Geneva Forum on capping National Health Insurance Service Fund unlocks $300 million for healthcare investment in Ghana. Goldfields reject claim of neglect in Takwa communities, and Bank of Ghana warns of rising inflation risk at Middle East crisis as Middle East crisis deepens. The Chronicle newspaper.
Chronicle the Wokrata no so eba ene anope ya mampani John Dramani Mahama nimfoni da ho ne nkomo a wakwa akodie ewo Switzerland no abi en welcome say one mo yi limit ahodo na dida National Health Insurance Scheme no so free hono edisika $300 million na aba one mo de ebepia omen apomden eho ensem Bank of Ghana empanimfo na ebo kokose said the Middle East ntokwai ase koda ne mu asan ahonyan se etuo ntwaye ne ekeka kro no ansha inflation ebetimi apagya akọ nanim na Goldfields fo won so akasa se de ebinom de won settle ne won so se bra won kopie takwa na won kotu mine no won anya mpuntunwuma bia wo ho ne woto takwa enkrotuo no mu ajeje mu no enye saa na etie nti anopɛ de Chronicle so ensem ya wodinam eni.
Bison Imperial Global Shipping and Logistics, Millennium Constructions at Daroma. The Daily Guide this morning says National Sports Authority, National Service Authority actually, National Service Authority scandal. Court admits gift your wife ADB bank document. Buffer stock case, Hanan, wife, gets 63.5 million CD bail. And Wontumi denies Exim Bank 40 million fraud charges. Poor internet service. Abna Sam George crash at PAC. Daily Guide.
Daily Guide obokrata no so de nsembebre na enam ene anope wo hwe animu a Ora Abdul Hanan wone ne yere na wo mfoni da hai kane Buffer stop penipa wo mu case no empanimfo guso a na nansan ya wo mo san eche Hanan no na ye den se wo mbema ni bill ye ka sai wo so de sika 63.5 million Ghana cedis and actually tire so bail condition sika ya eta to no enti omutumi ekofa bade a na afei ehon nsem akodadin won be kofie kakra na ohia won ma won asan aba mampanimfo atoto won manom na National Service Authority NSA atnaye won scandal eba ye ghost names ni ade ehon nsem de eya hwefo anim sem munim dada maame gift o ware ya Ghana for so na ede na maami woda so anenam ho sa mre senkede no atum dada court asem eye saa nkakra na omodi asem no awie no omuguso no wose gift o ware ni ADB wom nkrata bia womodi aba ebe ginemu ama wonum asem no ba bia wodi akono court age saa document no atum ena wontumi chairman wontumi incoming national chairman Emma MPP amanyokuo no one also say one call Exim Bank enkwankwaje bosia 14 million Ghana cedis bia ya enkwafo susu se dream ne kana na bi akoso na wontumi ese aha wenkwa de tete fore na enkwafo pesa wo motete efore no nti wode sa kwadu wetintam no a wode tumu a enye yie na internet nsensem ye Sam George ene maame abna wo say asa Republic Account Committee titinani Daily Guide say no mo de boani enra ewo park nhyiamomo ehonsem ewo ha no.
The Daily Searchlight this morning says scandalous Ghana police charge fees for public events is a question that they are asking. Northeast region dominates Ghana's poorest district as GSS flag stakes regional inequalities. Well, so every region, the assessment, and we are told that Northeast region is the poorest in the country. Chairman Wontumi and co accused still on bail. These are stories on the front page, the Daily Searchlight.
The Daily Searchlight, the Obokrata no so ede main prosi adwumakuo no pani a woda no se IGP Yewra Christian Tete Yehuno ni mfoni aba saa enso ena kane IGP ya wono so ede na adwuma ato ho wono so ni mfoni ewo ho Yewra George Akufu Dampare na wono mo kire se prosi adwumakuo mu nie ena frakadama ti se ye ekoso ni nyina ne se wo se afi 2023 Africa Games ya course wono ya se aprosi for the sika 35.8 million Ghana cedis sika ya bill ana akoma empanimfo a wono ehwe sa Africa Games ne so se kai se wono betua no eno na chairman ya wada African Games committee no so say na obiso se prosi adwumakuo moye oman na bambofo dwumadie bi ukoso na mo boban a ye bele ye gisika we ye firi he we de osusu se emu rem na eni kwan se esie na anopai the Daily Searchlight aboho amane na Ghana Statistical Service for GSS na won mobu won nkunta enenamo anu de adru Northeast region Etifi epoye mantamu en wo say aman nyina ewo my Ghana ha mu mantam no wo ko Northeast regional districts a sebi employers a wo hia bubro hia wonom de ekumaboa kɔtɔ na twen no firi anwam ɛbɛto twen ne firi bɔn mu bɛto anwea pradada so no ɛno bi ɛna ɛdokro district ahodoɔ ya ɛwɔ north east region kyerɛ sɛ nneɛma nhyɛda nkɔyie enti wokɔ atifi amantamo enum no a asɛm puntuo mansini ahodoɔ mu north east foɔ ɛna wɔn deɛ ɛwɔ fam papaapa nti anɔpɛ yi daily searchlight abɔ ho amane na chairman wontumi yane wɔn a wɔde kɔ adu ɛtentam wɔnom wɔn nso da so a ɛwɔ bill so kyerɛ sɛ wɔn wɔ fie ɛbra no ɛso sɛ wɔn kɔ court na wɔkɔdi akɔntaman ne ho nkɔmɔ a na wɔn mo ɛkɔ nti anɔpɛ yi daily searchlight so amane a wɔde nam
afia na yɛmi sɛ Ghana police nkɔmɔ no ɛtwetwema so kakra o because minim sɛ police for no sometimes wɔn kɔ yɛ dwuma wɔn gye sika o
na ọmọ ni nkọmọ na esi ansa na
say ọmọ kọbọ individuals ho ban I know it comes as a call me say me wa ha na eba say ese me kọ baabi utupuru mu na me ntimi ni traffic so a metimi adi ho nkọmọ
ama ọmọ de
ya be
foul do abako
and I know it comes at the council unless an nkọmọ no enye nkọmọ ye official
we African Games just say Ghana and say any Africa nya Ghana
National Sports Authority and na air truck krata akoma Ghana Police Service say you be here bambo ti mo mebo ye ho ban say san hyehyeye no koso a I'm not sure the police would officially write that by bebo mo ho ban no and as say African Games there then they take care of Sani money that they will pay for the police. And that's how the conversation, you know.
As I want to
say police ba omo bedidi omo ebe yusu car no so ye tofi wa ogum ni ade nti at least I say baby kakra
a state event yeah.
I think say
where Africa Africa Ghana GS na so host.
Maybe it would help us appreciate the conversation.
The 30 million that the minister has said it was duplication. And sir, if an internal auditor up your game. Now unsupported claims 35.8 million. Just for 6,000 police officers. 6,000 police officers. That was the so-called, I don't know whether they call it Africa Games or All Africa Games.
Chairman is African Games.
It's Africa Games. And they spent 35.8 million 2024 for police officers. And we don't have documentation on it. Ministry of Sports. How? And you want to sit here and come and argue?
Chairman, with respect, on that matter, internal auditor, you said you raised issues with that at the Ministry of Finance.
No, with the police, when they submitted the bill.
When they submitted the bill? Yes. Who did the scheduling with the police for them to be able to deploy that number of people?
Please, the LOC.
The reason why I ask is this. Who, once answering that, and who submitted that bill as an addition to the outstandings of the ministry to the Ministry of Finance, all in your schedule of payables?
So on the scheduling, since we have the executive chair of the LOC for Accra 2023 here, let him speak to that. So we'll get back to the submission. Thank you.
Good morning, Honorable Chair and members of the committee. I mean, this was the bill submitted by the police at the end of the games, and I was really baffled when the bill was submitted to me because we didn't reach that agreement. Initially, they were to have policemen to assist in carrying out police duties, We were initially even feeding them. Then they pulled out. And from nowhere, at the end of it, they brought this bill. And I wrote to them to justify why such a quantum. And they couldn't justify. So that is where we've gotten to. I was shocked to the marrow with the kind of bill they brought. And I said, please give us justifications and break it down to support what you are claiming.
How many weeks did the games go on for?
We started from the first, second, third, with regard to the early games. But officially, the game started from 8th to 23rd.
Maestro, Papa, you are going
of a minimum.
Okay. It's part of sports in our country. Or no ne kwabna ye boa ne car to 4 ene kwabna eje Japan.
Okay.
But so how did they appear before the committee?
Of I say
utie ne nkomo no a o say eye bibia omo submit and almost catch almost say almost find chiremu emra and son almost to one among also one till among can be it is almost until among can be dear then a beka documents are year review because the moment it comes to the Public Accounts Committee,
it means
my understanding is that the tria. And the tria there, I don't see a because claims, no, see claims in Kaho, which means the request for the monies to be paid is not there.
It's not there.
The evidence of say tria who receipts MI, and she say, much rock or and a woman to a monk can be you are. Then you try.
That's a question.
And then you try now.
Maybe you'll be fair, check what you.
If you are me, sir, I deal with Omu Jaya, a beboa.
Public Accounts Committee.
Yeah. Unim. Say, what's nice now when Yamana a cosono? Any said the Sika, and you know, I may
a share before.
And Yabibia, encourage patriotism cry. O sika no a nkofo di no a hwinsi no a encourage patriotism nti omo de omo pa omo nyame enhwe because enema no bi wa ha
offer all African games are saying we are working me am saying ya twemedi
season
offer sa say mo me kasa me kan for me emotional be say me emotional no pay
oh yeah.
Because me am say
yeah you were saying
offer
did you have a company?
Oh offer
did you have a company?
2023
did you have a company?
2023 me kan mo a ye form a ye koye adwuma all African games no bi the supervisors a ye koye adwuma e wo see sika 5,000 Ghana cedis ba say up to now sika na ba na
when the farm
volunteers
when the farm
LOC 24 the organizer of the program offer agreement or the bank statement on krata bibia or offer bank statement and everything but bank account also mutual scan and everything also be an offer we provided them to the organizers we don't know the kind of things on the summer catching or for my any other explanation.
What do you
your call, you know, you know,
collective action.
Yes, we haven't seen any response. And offer some may come once and the actual one. A bank society, ministry hope you. Of our bank said the uncle hobium. That was the previous administration. Because of her, ya bosswa, escape. And yet, I found say Chino Machinidi.
And what the Academy can
say, oh, Czechisico Mudi room in all African games now. Almost $195 million. And some of them the $47 million of essence of our account. That was the previous administration.
Says can be near DC stadium.
Of a Botimano Kohe Stadium, Basebi Omesi.
Oh, man, yes, sir.
Offer.
Stadium now. Yeah, they are all Africa.
Offer. What the state of the stadium currently?
So, okay, maintenance.
Of even Krampus Stadium, no. Offer. A bit sika the yard you.
Debbie. Offer. Sa Sikaya been on this is our stadium.
And why belong this is our stadium?
Yeah, stadium now. And games be one.
Of our part on work order.
Debbie. I've just seen it.
Good. Say ye new one no musi that was 2023 no.
And no American.
Yeah, me koye no. We share the most no crofone di sika. Because Sasti do no musi no doesn't tally with the amount of money your catches on this is
Sasti. No me say, but they see one kama.
Enye kama. Me to me enye kama.
Ayede.
Ofa stadium ma yes oh. Ofa me say ma o de mo munyi stadium no pictures ni videos en gusu ni ehwe.
Efe.
There be ofa nyefe. Stadium we efe. Ye beti sika almost millions of dollars e dey see stadium we.
So sika no a ye di si ye no do so chen di si ho na na ase nyefe.
Ofa say e di sika esi wo e di si wo
ofa we ke kan bom sa.
Oh for mama kan na bom because adwuma na omo ye
no. Obi betimi akotoka. Oba o se ka ye si we. Me to no 100 million. O he car no a car na ye kama. Ye car papa. But dey bia ye betimi ato no 70 million.
Ofa
be ka se wabu
ofa
but car na utimi ne de car papa
ofa stadium na esi wono
it is stadium ni sika bro stadium no so
yes emo bi and that say stadium na esi wono the sports ministry then time Mustafa Hamid Mustafa I can't say Yusuf no sports minister at that time mu die ni mu
petition ye probe but there's a probe on it ana
ofa whether there's
all African games no
there's a automatic committee almost omoye nhwemu offer currently as we speak the new committee no omoye nhwemu omode aba
the program we omo adwuma
offer see it ya
omo wie omo adwuma
omo wie
na mo appear before the committee
there be
na dey musika munya che na dey hire no be sika no mo je chire
e was offer say me maka ho asema me sika no
there be o kana bonti obi amfanya
me sika no
mo appear before the committee
me sika no maka ho asema offer and what I'm trying to say is say if yet now the government expended this huge amount of money on all African games now you see the say sika we yakoma police won't say offer okay GBC for in common almost 2 million Ghana cedis Eko GBC omo hwe mu na enkomo no enye sana na ete offer okay sika almost omo de ma athletes the amount of money almost spending here only with food
until I say public accounts committee afia omo ye nyaaye because you see say we Ghana ni ohun na oye adwuma se o boa Ghana utu ho ache na utie nkomo we ya obisa se na me ye Ghana ni sa na ye den because nkofo odi ya nye obi ahwe ye ba na ya beka na eko stadium na efe papa
we
Masa jai.
The state of the stadium ni
Masa stadium na efe
of a stadium way mako several of a stadium way
Sikano no omo de baby kan ho afine.
This is not a standard stadium offer. We are talking offer.
What Africa games no offer.
Rwanda for stadium musi ye betima host World Cup final. Almost spending $56 million. But I said stadium way almost almost spending how much?
Almost spending
56. I'm a horror sports stadium of almost spending $56 million. Go and see the state of that stadium. Now, anyway, of our spending almost $47 million as I said, this stadium way. Stadium way doesn't qualify for that amount of money. And you tell her, because of that stadium, now was games no cost in 2023. And you postpone about 2024. What would we still the time? Look at this stadium and you go and see the state of this stadium.
But we have you
offer. Go and see the state.
Yeah, one of the
Africa
Games.
Offer Sika Wayne Stadium when and
scan the doors one and one yefe. Emuni wen.
Offer scan the doors on at the end so musi and so sounds on yefe.
The obwa. At the end
I don't know musi no. And sounds so and yefe offer. Yan can no crave and chero.
I don't pay ever quiet in Niama also akwenya. Na yanyo the overseer. Na I'm sorry so now. The overseer newspaper says National Pensions Regulatory Authority targets informal sector with new digital pension ecosystem and kidney failure, dialysis and transplant ordeal. Kojo Edu Asari praises Ato Forcing and others. Nana Oye Lita, Nana Oye Bampo Ado hails Multimedia Group for shaping Ghana's development, and Kwachi Ofosu slams Ghana Bar Association over silence on a Fenyomakin judge remarks. The overseer newspaper here. The overseer the Obokrata at the National Pensions Regulatory Authority. Peniya Wadano Foni Abadi Omo Kanyina ne sem. Se nka ye kasa pension. Sika ye tiato o ede ama obi enyini demu a. Na akwa jina aban adwuma ye fo nko a so. Ana woni a woye bosome adwuma. Na bosome so a obetua won mo kanu ate kakra to ho ama won se de NPRA for say one more etre one taban mu. Wo bo awura informal sector ho. Edwom ya maame no ma wo ho nyina wo mo so hia se wote sika to wo ma wo mo daache. Na wanyini na wo no mpemu agu a wontumi nkodwom enkodi dwabie mu no. Afei na pension no ahyase ya ehwe wo. Enti informal sector no na sese wo mo do mani ebesi wo no maye ntoto ya. Ebema obia ya wo ye ono ankasa ni bodwa bi wodi ono anidwa. Wono so betimi enya bosome bia ntemto ho ya ebeboa ama na setene mo etimi afa ne ntuma pa efra na Kojo Edu Asare ona kane na wada free zones board ano no anya ono Kojo Chumwa for okay na wo kasa ede efa kidney sa aboyade ho na nkomo no a wodi ni de ase obi eho kire no baabi ena yewra to forcing ene afofo bi ono ankasa na komo no areho ayo oyare okay na oyare ye no se utie ne nkomo no a na chesa se so oyndc ni I think he was a national officer na a former member of parliament na oyare ye ni mo no se yare na cost capital
kidney so
de na so a transplant ne ade na well nim obre a yebui okwa ahohia mu a na nkofo adane wo mo achi e de ama ofiri we ya unya we so a o se frɛ me kyena duru hɔ a na wabɛboa me na okwa ahohia mu pa na the last time we interview no oka nipa ni bia omo aboa no and it's interesting so only politicians didn't come out. The top 5 people are or recognize it MPP for.
Wow. Tina me say wo from ha ye kunkum ye.
The top 5 are or recognize it say omo contribution and the boa no ma ojina baby ojina. Top 5 ni na MPP for.
Wow.
So omo now for some politicians in there.
She say are hustle. Ono ani die mufuo no. Na no so sa.
Ato.
Say Yesu kai o.
Ono ani die mu no.
Aba ni die mu o.
Ani die anye no. Aban aso ye kra na was true of so ampofo. Na say any chief of staff no na ja. Yes.
Yeah, someone.
Yeah. Edu ba bia. Ti no mtu usu body arade.
Osum kwadu. E kom beba daache.
Ene ato ayade.
Yeah, ato nkwa. Ato dey say ato was ato ya dadamfo. Ato ba mu yes. But Brian Champon ne
so Koboy
former Rose Minister was the first person he mentioned, Amakwanta. He's the top on his list. Then he mentioned Brian Champon. then Japan Mesa, yes. She said in the top 5, no, MPP.
Oh wow!
And Sandy Sami Jemfi, Atofos, Boy was also part of the list. He was very appreciated. Abraba Yebuyo, Amaya, to Saswa, Uhia Dofo.
So for every week, we are 2,000 years old.
I wish I for every so Yanimo Edin Como, Yanimam Penny and Casano pay on 020-633-4646. 020-633-4747. Kai, say Millennium Constructions. I didn't see who near my dear. Millennium Construction near Jumakua. As I say, Odo hon eto so. Odo hon to on so ye. A assassin our person out tongue. A assassin and our person out ta. Nina no one hum come over wow. Say, Opese who sit down so and no one hum come. Opese alternate gated community one will see across the country. Usikano, the Wabuan will be any Millennium Construction ni home come. Wobbehe, na waye we japa de no e de ama o die so no ombema no abemu ama o beze usi hospital obeze usi asori dan obeze usi school dan a won ene obedi nkomo yenko takrade kwame usu yemu ache
opa me jo so na wa ko me
yeho aye yie mi gidi sa wo ho ye
o nya ni adu ye se ho ye
yentio
de bon pa ya mam se nya mi sha mo no mo ma ho re no nya mo kese
amen
oba na Maestro And Afia the motion na kasa o ene se ya twina di nti no okwan stadium ye e dia no kwese sika o mi stadium there mo mi tare ba stadium na fa pa because of 2024 omuye all African Games yan tise obi akotwa ba se diane a omu declare enye anasi limita but this year you omuye na South Africa for ni we fu ni na omu di da bon tise Ghana for e chi wo komu wow the man show omu so mo twa di sika na e bon pa ma obeje wa de ba stadium dey there efe e be ti aba se community ni there more than that and dey me no ya bi but say wo ka se stadium ni nya dey there be pa cho yin na ya ko akoni na mo nyina stadium efe ye wo so sa be nine wa adoma ankenye ni na Ghana kasa no lack of maintenance a high again e be na president for stadium see e sekendi any tamale enya the stadium ni na ye eno na e problem nti yesle abana la ni e omodi tikakro mo be ye no mo di asa mo be maintain na ti na tra ma ye ye das
yes ye das anopay messages wo hwa na yedi ho nkomo usum brode a no wasum kodu no mo yanko mampon na yani 2 pm ni nkomo yemo ache
hello
yes sir
Mejo Sominia
yanko
na pomo
nyame adom
Kojo mente wonka yi 4747 no
I see yankasa memete wonka okodi ana je Maestro na aduru no so
of our yanking kind messages in the kakra and farmer ET for our Hano. Wilfred Bridget or say was also of Maestro the watch Debbie.
Debbie saying.
There's a message you know the other.
Debbie, I would do I think common wood dinner. Also, has any man.
Also, the data has any man. Must be data me has any man.
So, I am no man who use data.
There.
2 p.m.
Bravo,
young quay.
Na pomo say I am about what Chiama Mintina say na me twan say obechi ama
na nyame adum bibia aboko say de obobodi no e fa mani so ubo Jonathan no abo Obama
His Excellency Goodluck Obama John Dramani Trump Pame Abebio Mahama
na ya no atwra na
me twa me bo free me til mo minia
nyame ahira okwanim
na o se ona bu Kenzuba so me chia ona chairman na kwesi minia 2 pm anopai se minya akonya ahia ye mampani president Mahama papai ene asama me de beto nanim ene se ye besre ye 24 hours a year omode by loan ya omode by e say yaba explaining ye besre president say like who our business set and I will qualify say where they won saka etimical loan bi ye besre amanfo enya MPP ni NDC sem na obi asori awakwa akotra won say me kwa ji loan bi because initiative His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ede ba na de ebe bo timamfo na mabona ba so say papa e say mahu say wodwene o man Ghana ho basa to say 24 hours economy and they say bank no so e dey eba papa yero ho na bo o man Ghana because right now o he say dey o si reset Ghana e dey papa wo ye adwuma enti bo Ghana na masere ne say constitution bi wo ho a His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ebetimi atena so afebol because said the one man Ghana ma ye de no de me ye sure say obetimi ye constitution bi na biem so me de ato nanim say eno asamote ya sataso kwan ekọ adwira no Mampon Road say mote say issue na
ya te say kwan ni mu acha ma ohawa ba ho
yeah also me de ato mampani anim say yesre no sa kwan na busy road from Mampon ekwa tebubu ne omu supply nnuane ne niam bebe ne masere ye mampani oma nanim ko ho na sataso nso mo onya because ka no
kofi anopei mame nko nnuanu a won wo wiamo as
ka ya mere bi rap ko ye bibi wo hospital ase recha na se ho efa obi a wonya accident a wode ne ko ya na doctor fo ahwe na Ghana fo ne senture po bebre no ya hwe message no rap no messenger na bo rap yanchi ntumi yanyese but obekaya efiri be last 2 months ni wo nipa o mawu e hospital because of doctor for nurse for no nse yibia eduma ne wo se wo me ya o man ye ne ye no the Ghana na te bia na semba ye hwe asem na nipa ne kan aye ma medi odo bi ko che nipa ne yi ano wo ma ne yi ano wo so wo sa pese wo sa bi se different ko so tinya abotere ma mi yi ano nwie ti menji ni se mistake bi no waye ma de trade e to sumi ya me bi se me ho se nti ye judge for omo ye court omo so ye Ghana for ana because I didn't know maybe because Ghana for so yesu say ye sika e ko waste amafo wie ye sika bi ne ye asem beto omo anima say omo be hwa di ne ye hu bebi o no mo de fa ne ye shebo so mienu ne ye shebo so omo be delay asem ne saa ye be sere omo so ye Ghana for ana Ghana is kind of near the Chiomoka. And it's kind of a unicorn. Did say short no man Yakatia, the Jiris or Mompenant and Ahonjament. Here, but I'm the by Yalmonso interest and meaning them. Nasicana could be a man for Shesika Yabo. No, besides it is Sassica, it's up police for 6,000 Mobako. I would no one next year is police for 6,000 and Sika 35 million. Abba,
I don't pay. Mamin Quasso, I say, and I'm Emilia in Incomo. Emi? Marche.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Meton count.
Ayo, Camilla name Casafia, Mamintia Manana Petina, Mintia Comrade Spain, Regional Director, NSA, na Mintia Professor Bastian, for Nameko Matamqua. Mr. President, in fact, Omino Koyi, and your Koyi, Yamotoya, but Yamontoya completely, but Yamotoya. But party ma yania bre ewo form o party a do ba aben no in fact enyoma nkoye o enkoye Mr. President enyoma nkoye chawani na bra be share party ma no omo ye dirty work no branch level no ya say enyoma nkoye enti bra na be chawani be share seni ya be ya yanti ya be me promote the party na management for preference so bia where obi so betimi abe enjoy seni ya wo ba ya promote wa watimi enya abenya na to say ubu o man no emedipie koso amagana ni bia trace no Ghana ni bia trace o dia but over wo party ni mu a enyoma nkoye o branch executive omo ekomo dey enti me matem no na make me Kaakyire His Excellency John Dramani Mahama enam anofa e wo
me da se efia ebrebe mu ayeba behwe how come omse Ghana ekoye yet party man is one who chiri omo yam come am ponting Joshua.
Hello.
Joshua Marche. Joshua. Hello. Joshua.
Yeah, hello.
Me enter on kind.
Good. Hello.
Hello, Joshua. All right. Young quiet anymore. Afia. So, Omani Koyi, Bibia Kama. Yanko Kumbungu. Fatao, the Yadin in income. Fatao, you're watching.
Hello. Good morning, Senior.
Good morning, how are you?
Medawati, why are you Yamishra Papa? All the program de me fan yangru.
Pepe.
Yamishra Papa. Me fa kwa yesunamecha income national chairman. Chairman go to me chairman Bakope. I don't know what Jamie Papa, lawyer and not Obil Wahen. Asama Odia free and him no. Yura John Ramani Mahama, be the Ademia to him. Now the same no Kasai, Emra operate to me no. Oti omuba omba yete 24-hour economy. Na sisi mi no kase omuti omba yete 24-hour economy deba ya. Na kumbuku kwa situation akurapo kumbuku yejo ayeji kurapo sisi mi no kase omba sai economy nyinala. Omuti omba sisi deba Abraham ye campaign no kurapo mo nkana sawo. Musi mu di women's bank adi aba. Enam se that women's bank no kurapo be mamba bia tini ye juma ye. Ana bemba bia 24-hour economy ne nyina so NCC ye ye me di beto ato ye wura Sam George etom re bia obaka sama onya abotire e wote wonti asese o ye minister o ye penyini enti etom re bia o ye penyini kura ba obaka sam kura kwa nya abotire ma ho eno ano no ayana waja income national jama wotu ma me da wati.
Right, and I'm sure that's just about the last call. And I'll pay a Brian and Mampeni Edin Komono. Messages kakra ofa
ofa messages kakra e wo no ebitimi akinkan
won na ye wa dan ye no emumuni awodan
ofa we free Jumo Mercy. Also, good morning Daybreak team. I'm watching you live from Dansuman. Keep it up. Solid show by all standard. Ena odiaba ewa hanu no ansan so bi say fireworks in kwa. Ena odiaba ewa ha we free entry dako. Also, good morning the voice of the voiceless. And also so odiaba on Facebook. Opoku Justice. And say good morning, my big family at Fache TV. And odiaba ewa hanu mofa.
Okay. So Afia, how do we explain that in literature omo odin bi e de be man? So omane koso bibia e kama odin komo na awia o se mampani be hwe party for no na party for I wo form no e bre pa.
Na mente ase.
Party for no omo bre so
omo so omane koso
na omo Nigeria ana omo Burkina Faso.
Meanwhile, my so president is BBI inflation ye.
No akwara buy. O si BBI koyi. Ghana koso. Omani mo ayede.
Sutime mo
na wa was say.
Party man
ebre.
So ebi omani koso wo baabi. Enya wo mo no bottom.
Sa.
Ai. Omani akoso amesika no abanti. Omo emie omo nsam. Na sika no aba no omo ache no. Enko entretre asabatre.
Party for no ebi aba omo nsam. Omo mie.
It offer ya no mo pese grassroots for no pese bosumi bia no. Nanka omo party no ahwe omo nyina register.
Oh, you're part of the grassroots ana.
Oh, fine. Me bisa question.
I mean, me bisa question.
Of me menya part of grassroots. But me pese me say.
So won kan omo ho a, won ti ase.
It's na say omo pese nka bosumi bia nanka party national executive na ahwe grassroots no. Nanka wo ho a na bia mumu bi anase be beto account.
Time omo ma ban mu no. Na party executive no mo nya na ofo mo.
It's na me say say no omo ba ba mu no.
Omo mi adwuma na omo nya be. Omo adwuma.
Na omo pese nka bosumi bia pese nka grassroots bia mete he bia
ma say. Omo pese omo nsu di yi. Omo asema.
Formula 133.
Okay.
E sha ase ana
na say baby anso na
Mr. Owide Kafra. Afia Women's Bank naba.
Me de menya ho.
Na hu di aye meme isi you.
Minyan say na say vice president di ho nkomobi.
Women's Bank.
Mo say eba. Okay. Be shase o market no. 24-hour economy market na wo mu bie no. Be share Women's Bank na se wo ho. Say edwomfo ma. Bie
24-hour market ni wia.
Be bank. I think say market ni bia mu. Nti ye ton ye niam ni wia. Ye mfa sika ne moyas ni mu. Enko fie biem na akromfo akọchi.
Na nya afi we o. Because edwa no sa fe no mu besisi.
Say dia so abwo fom bebre nti ye fe.
Yo. Omuma na ba omuma ne mre o na 24-hour market na ama. Mon kan kire boy no say onya de o ye. Nkomo no say hana. Obetimi apie wi ano aba. Why? 24-hour market no. 24-hour market.
It's in the pipeline.
Chewo kwam. Chewo kwam. Sana 24-hour economy no. Eno nso a chewo kwam.
Eno so ntimi mba.
Ye pa adwuma no. Ya ye ready. Ya na makai video bi a abrante ne say. Almost say education is the key to success.
Yeah.
Your co-education ni wie kwaji key ni wie ya ye ba ya omo change locks no. Ntu di key ni si
success na ni a.
Success na ni a emi. Yes ramwa. Mama 24-hour economy na enye adwuma na yehu ye ho ano na Jack emfasa. Enne wa woda nti ye ma awoda pa. Prince Owusu enne wa woda. This is from our brother Obrimpon, Lisbon. Emma Prince Owusu awoda pa osre osu inshirani adom edemano. It's also the birthday of Philippa Abura ewo Europe. You are a member of the Living Word Temple, Old Tafu Kumasi, Opoku Justice. Say anope yema wa awoda pa na yensre osu inshira emfa emma. It's also the birthday of Agnes Owusu Sechere, level 300 English student of Usted, Kumasi campus. Nat ladies of Usted, and a former teacher at Trede, DAJHS. Kosti, happy birthday. God bless you. All right. Abushafa na omudi won awodana no. Covid.
Ofa,
obi di na wodan na no.
There be ofa no ano no.
Afia.
Ene na chese ye de asia no.
Ene na de asia no. Na mesramo me member of parliament. Ne nkomo no mayemo ye ne yemfa nwie. Member of parliament for Inshiaeso constituency. Afia no wa kiremu.
Okay.
Say yibisa me say na ni din kan list no ho. Yehun say ni din wa listening o kiremu ma ye say video na ready a. Mama yemfa no nsori ya mo adaroma. Enye ready amon kan
baby a.
Kojo, no comment. No comment. I don't want to comment on. I think that only the first one. And I think of what I saw my second one. I think the woman in the idea, but we are communicating the to me. Because all these things are not very important. I mean, what is important is that what am I offering my society? Open Shiaesua, I can put my hand on my chest. Say, Mama, about 1,000 scholarship. Very soon, maybe another 300. I can put my hand on my chest, say, by the grace of God. They are training for 1,000. High, DD. I am Papuane back at the boom. High, solid DST. Say, man, keep winning a training. I can put my hand on my chest and praise the living God. Say, Metiwi, and grab them pin is not any among tables and chests. Say, Metiwi, communities. Indigenous towns as a communities in Bell 24, Mamu 14 in Sue, because so what God is using me to do. Black Rasta by Kumasi. I will be an orchestra and no campaign money. The most important thing is
when I'm left alone with God, what is my deed? Because if you are inviting me, Nicole Landing, I call you. Wouldn't say the same UK, Manchester, so they can end of the same month, June. Now, the mommy, Master, and this globally, and go for who say you are capable, you can do this. Now you can offer your services to the group and to the community and to your country. And you hear, I can't so. I see the race is not to the swift, neither the fight to the strong, but time and chances. What are they making? We have a man who say, Constitution, penny be a study, a pioneers will be Kinyayadi. But the men can get in a numpo. The only thing I'm talking about is that you can only build this country when some of the things I raised fundamentally are dealt with. And yes, I heard, over the policy bill will be on paper, because you a very thing in what you have here. Football club so be so coach and I team and a manager any new house association. They make out nothing.
Metawase.
You know, anyway, we don't get me, but me are the official will be communicated to me honestly. Now my first so my second one be with you. And in that my focus very being there. I will serve my party and make sure that I will contribute to building MPP and making sure that you never have to learn MPP better power 2028, because I think the two parties in now or how, but in my opinion, MPP is better than MPP. And if it's better, it will be better for Ghana. And that is what I believe in.
Daybreak is brought to you by Millennium Constructions, Bison Imperial and Logistics, AD Auto Car Rentals.
Thinking about building your dream home?
mpanimfo gye pene no mo ba saa de a na nkomo no aye mra ma me se me de an se me bisa won nsam na won so wonim de ene ne wasua no wode aboaye dia no pay usted computer department computer science department IT Kojo asante Kojo mache na etze
ya me adom ko
man no to an so no de me no enema bebre o yen central adwuma na organize a workshop training chese ebo mache
William Joseph
bibi aboko
ade a chen
ya wo san boabo aho wo be san ko independent ni bi o bia na o man Ghana hia wo sikanash a former independent candidate for the Ishayaso constituency was a Ghana for no that's why o money je party no hunti wa pen baby atna social studies for president ewa ha prince march
Franco you
na no pe mo say how
isuan
mo de kwayo they say the smoke no o shepa what nkomo no ase
sure
at
least Ghana was you said you
ne kwanso ano anopay mesamo yem fa video no edi kan no which is the afenyo marking video na yen hye nkomo na ase free
MPP Sunyani is communications officer, popularly known as Baba Amando, arraigned before an Accra Circuit Court, remanded, charged with offensive conduct, false publication and circulation of statements likely to incite fear and panic. The same judge, Circuit Court 9, the Agenda Court, the NDC Court, and let me repeat it, that NDC judge, he must be ashamed of himself.
Yes.
And now Abronye, remanded into BNI custody for criticizing a judge. There are no isolated incidents. They are selected examples from a deeply troubling and growing list. That judge has no respect for his own judicial oath. I don't think he read the law. That Circuit Court 9 judge, I have no respect for him. For a judge to say that he's remanding Abronye into BNI custody until the case is finally determined. How? Such a judge can never have my respect. How? How? I pray that he summons me for contempt. Yes. I will continue to disrespect him until he upholds the law. He's gone beyond his judicial function. And it is not his first. It's as if he has been selected purposely to achieve this. He doesn't talk law. I don't know whether he ever passed his law exam. It's a shame. It's a shame on the judiciary. And my Lord Bafuboni must pay attention to this. For whatever it is, it's about his legacy. I'm told by December he will be 70 and he will be gone. Is that the legacy he wants to leave? After Tokonu was booted out of office and all manner of accusation leveled against Tokonu, is that the judiciary? Yes. The judiciary, they said they were going to reset. Is that the reset where a judge will say he is remanding an accused? Because if he allows him to go, if he grants him bail, he is likely to talk again. So he should remain in custody. In fact, at first, his pronouncement was that Abronye should go to Nsao until the case is finally determined. He's already prejudiced the outcome of the case. And this man says he's a judge. I should respect him. No way. No way. And some fool say,
so this is the minority leader in Ghana's parliament. All kasa efa judge. Na government spokesperson, government communication spokesperson, Felix Kwachofosu, Epostu BB Enra. And it had to do with the Ghana Bar Association. And also, young hair, Nafi, young Koya Nimin Freeho. Ubisana, who say, Ghana Bar Association, common one, Akoso, Omwatiana, na Adena, Omwayi di. Ono de ohunu say omoye an appendage of the New Patriotic Party. A can't be. Tina omon can hear no. Subsequently, through radio and TV interviews, there's been some conversation. But I don't pay me to hey. I've not seen any official communication from the Ghana Bar Association. In Tibesi, I don't pay. Ghana Bar Association officially has not spoken to this matter. I don't pay yes, Mona minimum a dim comway. Say, Yemma, Yem Quaya. Politicians, the Messay and democracy, Yema and Kojo.
But that's it. But make sure it's you. I have for ne Dofwa Omo Eshe and pay now. And then the colleagues are all Amstead, especially my senior, my dean, Professor Johannes Disu Arta. That's the dean for the Faculty of FASME, Science and Applied Mathematics. Kojo, to me, what pins democracy in judiciary? Because also there is always banter, executive, parliament, that hot. The judiciary sits in the middle and makes sure things are corrected. That I would say is the pivot of the democratic dispensation. From 92, gradually, the judiciary is becoming political. Gradually, the judiciary is becoming political. Most of the ruling, Ghanaians follow ruling. Majority of Ghanaians don't follow rulings in court. But tenacity, me started follow right from the election petition. That was the time I started sending me share cases near there. Because notwithstanding, I've been at one circuit court. Right there, one police officer read a charge on a driver. Already charged now. Then the judge gave a pronouncement, a fine for the driver to pay. No question was asked. The driver did not speak. Nothing. He just pronounced it. In a matter of 3 minutes, the case was over. I stayed there quietly. I was looking at everybody. The place was silent. And the guy was led away, just like that. In the circuit court in Ghana here, if I can mention the place, but I mean, because I'll have to keep it this way. But this is what I saw. So I was like, court, as I'm no saying it here. But as far as I'm concerned, I know say court there, you review charge, you plead guilty or not, the debate continues, witnesses come in, but this was what I saw within that circuit court. And gradually, I have seen judgments, judges, lawyers, all aligning to political parties, certain dimensions. It was study police for particularly there are particular quarter.
Maybe courts a prompt in their work.
And maybe too, the judge and the police also have certain things in common that they want to. That notwithstanding, let me come to the substantive issue. I'm a lawyer. I have normal knowledge about courtroom issues and the rest. But somebody like Afenyo Markins, being a senior lawyer, knows how these judicial matters are resolved, if even the judgment doesn't go well. So, who minority leader, practicing law for a long time, with your position, if you say this about a judge, how do you want me to say? Me try to a classroom. What I say? I think that as a minority leader, you should lead the way. That notwithstanding, the abuse of the judiciary by the politicians reached its peak under Ronaldo.
Abuse saying.
Oh, yes. Afenyomakin himself is number one abuser of the Supreme Court. He was the reason why Tokonu was removed.
Hey, Samu.
Oh, yes, to me. He was the reason why Tokonu was removed. It will not be written, it will not be said anywhere, but inherently, Afenyomakin was the reason why Tokonu was removed.
So perception.
Yes, that is my perception. And it cannot be far because the thing is, look at the way Afenyomakins abuse the Supreme Court. Senka, you are not lucky and no winning elections here. I'm telling you, sir, by now, the Speaker of Parliament, Kokoyo opposition, are going to be Yaguma. How on earth do you, as Speaker, rule on a case and then quickly you run to Supreme Court? I don't think our constitution do allow that. But if it does, then the Constitutional Review Committee should be careful and then look at that portion very well.
Don't make us a more fast track high court system.
Fast track high court is
court in common. Any say check.
If we have time to go step by step into these things, one of the major issues in our judicial system that doesn't make things credible is the delay. Common arbitration between husband and wife over a building to be taking 8 years. 8 years in court. 8 years. If we have a mechanism to construct a fast-track high court, a DNA preventing from applying the same mechanism to cases as they come. But you be delay up, down, one to the sense. Case ni lusu. What's that almost a case as here? Political trials here as will be a corruption here. Government be no case as will be. Then at least they could read the next you start opening trial. They see and come baby come say 8 years. Try na now we have just say which cases have been some transcend between 5, 8 years, sometimes 10 years. They don't finish. These are not criminal cases. Murder cases where you are trying to no. Some of the cases I don't think they should have that level of delay.
How would quiet judicial and first year Juma? But you do not think that's any Afenyomakin din in common?
Debbie. Who Afenyomakins? On say, they are playing political game. Afenyomakins
at the expense of Yenina.
Exactly. Sir, when they go into opposition, their tune is different. Sir, Oba government ni tone enko. Afenyomakins is now criticizing the judge. What time? And Nehemiah, he was referring to Justice Tokonudi, a whole Chief Justice, even intervened in a second court case. Most of the things that came into the petition that removed her. And yet, Afenyomakin Diana Wanye, Adia wa apply law earlier. The same law is being applied to you, quickly you run to Supreme Court. Let me emphasize that Afenyomakin has been one of the abusers of our law.
Hey.
Oh yes.
How?
Of the judiciary. Sir, his posture and everything.
At every point,
at a point, hijack the Supreme Court.
At every point, you are looking at Emrano and Shishayano. Now, Okayana baby a tokro da ofa we you know. No afa ho. So maybe he's looking at loopholes or what system, then he exploits it. So no the any abuse.
Kojo, I would say, sir, every single judgment that is given at our High Court, Appeal Court, even Supreme Court, should be subject to judicial review. I don't know whether that is done. But I'm going to find you, I will say panel tenaso. Now I will review cases that judges never rule. And let's all come to conclusion, say, our cases sometimes are fair or not. Means also I can say court cases following them no any area. But election petition, because we all had interest in the
judgments,
they follow. Oh yes, some of them don't just make sense. What Afenyomakin was reading there, the man did not read law. He feels he did not apply the law. I have witnessed so many Supreme Court issues why I think they even didn't read the law. I'm not a lawyer.
But interestingly, and Ramitie lawyer be. And I know I can say, and one was Afenyomakin in common would dino. If he said, and son will be very judge, and he must first become a lawyer. He must go through a certain process and sign you as a judge. This all can say, or born, one that's all passing the exams. Exams ben all can't want some. Because Ansan will be very judge, and there's why a lawyer need, or a lawyer near a process, and near the knuckle. This all can say, or born, one that's all passing and so here. na che say nye emremu nkomo na wudi bio again or say
judge na attacking the personality
or he say judge no ebe cite no for contempt no bi say wonim say emremu no circuit court or omo cite contempt it is all can say oh he say judge no be cite for contempt nkomo be na wudi no
that's a wasada eventually because the issue is say Afenyo markets more, they have politicized the law. It was no war can in. Almost a statement that war can in ya dia onim dada. So sometimes it happens within the judicial realm, and I all apply to this certain court judge. You see, you as a senior lawyer, what I know is that you have the right to criticize the judgment, the issue, but not attack the judge as if wabong. That's a personal attack. When reading law, it's a personal attack. What makes you think that? You are talking about the ruling. Read about the ruling. Quote the law that tells you, say, ampa, ruling no, you're wrong. These are the things we expect from a senior judge, a senior lawyer, and a minority leader from you. But to attack his personality, that is not correct. And unfortunately, let me be very clear. Say, judicial service or judicial side is becoming so politicized that you have to understand say I want to warn the NDC. You are in government now. Send your way more apply and then opposition in future if you abuse the court and you go into opposition also being in opposition it is time we all find a common ground. Nayama judiciary independence as we claim. Me were issue with the constitution. Appointments in the man baby a free banina. Since I gradually Chief Justice appointment in Yamabia, because one here, no matter what you do, people will still read political undertone under what you do because of the way the appointment comes. A hard time was it because the judiciary collapse here. But you mean say some court pass the case equal. This area unfortunately no be the record but me court. Wow.
And yesterday Afenyo Markin posted and he says it is both ethical and within my constitutional right. Oh, okay. So I'm told that just today. It is both ethical and within my constitutional right to call out a judge who has no respect for law and the rights of citizens. There's a pattern in the conduct of the circuit court 9 judge in political cases that go before him. I cannot in good conscience respect a judge who has no respect for the law. The minority caucus in parliament will not shut its eyes to the conduct of this judge. A series of actions will be taken in parliament and the appropriate constitutional steps will be taken to rebuke him. Our lords are not above the law. Questioning the excesses of a judge's pattern of conduct does not amount to an attack on his person. The Chief Justice must keep an eye on the Circuit Court 9 judge and prevail upon him to uphold the ethos of this judicial rule and wake. That's Kwame Afenyo Markin. He's done a reflection over 24 hours and he's convinced that one can be able.
Yo, Kojo. We know Kojo started, say, since 1993 and now 92.
92, what do you
Okay. Let me check Penny Bibri. And Timako Chikakra.
Also, work with you.
The 10 years, 10 years of free. Neakoechi. Judiciary Okase, Omunanka, democracy, Ejina Omunasuno. You neutralize it almost 1992. They did whom after 3 judges were murdered. From that time, senior judge behind me making any serious pronouncements when it comes to Ghanaian cases involving Ghana and issues going on. Fast forward 1993, so 92 near year constitution.
Yeah, sure.
Intino, yade multi-party democracy by. To me, I think now, and Kojo de maka eye MPP ni NDC eno maji aboso enti no democracy na nkasa yentiase because debia ye be blame constitution and okra me no aka as constitution ye no ma be brave ma SS sa no if you say yan kasa tememfo no tumi be di ensem a ye didi nsem hunu yeso akwa sorry o shakra na ono yeso de sa shashe na otumi command o se kotena na asema ba ye my tumi keto e yeso akwa bank na security guard gina ho say you see boss around ye nya tumi keto bia na nipa su obi a practice democracy over 250 years na no ye o makofa papa bia ba betina wo so ohu de wo ye one the oye the same system na ye kra na ye ntiase na fe ne ye komu ye kra say since 93 ya enti ye de enkwa ahia hwese ne obi a wa ye 250 years ye be fa ne so more strong institutions kra loopholes na ewom ya ye kan say omu ina mu play ebi wo omu system omu ntimi fix ye so na ye ankasa no obi a wa build of man na wie kra no watimi anya obi ote so a person dan ne ho ohene o na yen a afa ne yefefe ye chichi o man wie institutions say atiti ni bebre na me catch prince ne kwadu say there were too many agencies white agencies departments white elephants in name by name no mo ti woni e bo mo hoka into democracy nankasa na ese ye ne tiase because as it sits right now we are not doing democracy we are not sisi an ye bo partisan ping pong party we ba no ba ina educationists no educationists na me bi so mo pa say enti ye story an no party akora 2 years ye dey go school dey na ye ko chire no school brofo no yanwe hu
ye mfanu nko school si ekwokyere na de o
because ye send ma me papa kwa adwuma
na baby e de no be kɔ no na wo mo be charge ya mfa school anto so a charge ne ya na aye bibie wo ho nti ye de no be kɔ school
na kwadwe o say so ahwe awiase na ase no ma bi ehye 5 years yeah e call O level say call 5 Ube 2 no akwa university. Once say 5. Sa formative years of Akwara life. We are sociologists and psychologists.
Social studies.
The bond that the Maminone Akwara no itimi forge. What children no ne kasa nyankopon de to na no. Obesuasua na dia ne die mu ne odi agro wan wiemu na ne immune system correct no ho na eye atuni ne because yankasa ne yenim ye ho da bia me ka kojo back to basics yankoni anko fix sa de we ne ye hu say ye democracy ne de to aba
ye banye hwibi
ye to aba ma first year no celebrate second year namu ye to wait third year ne campaign e da ko to aba fourth year ye ne ye free and same say ya ni be free we see my team we see my cow na sa petre yo na 4 years na sian ba na ya sian ye na no wo de ye mentimi de bi ye enu ye de chiche man yenya yeja atamils na me fa ne crazy also buy na nko person osesan no mu because your father for all one so ye NDC and so on mining and NDC for nkwa na beto ama one say ye bonechi ya na fofia nto ata odija hokoyi there might have been a shift in the psyche of the Ghanaian but sisi ya very tribal me ka tribal me can in the word tribal you say bia ya fantinina ya tribal say ye shek politics to say kotokone has yen any introspection, yen critical message at that. And education asema na me bi say obi wo ho a oye SDA ni edi enti no oye SDA ni ye wo ni tum wa hwehwe mpa hu ade krontia SDA ne boa wa na emu enti ye nye critical thinking ye wo mi tum no di akire ye wo mi to NDC ye wo mi to MPP mu say MPP lutu Ghana dry cry na obi defending. And the same is for the opposite side. But man kasi enchichinwe. Eno anadwume da ho mentimina. Me hwe TikToks. Accidents baby a. Takwansu ayem konongo he ya. Chese ya jura kwam ho baby e kwan na say na yete ha eye sansemfu we. Aha ke siesie ye fie awie. Waho ne e ba bontia abeboto tasa. Ana wansa ne ahu se yesa. But oman ya etimu yi aduane kra sisi aduane de kra de.
But is that not why we should be concerned that the people are ya to abama wo mo se ngom nkodwen ye ho no ngom a wo mudi no.
Na say ya na de omo koye. We deserve the people we put there. Because ke adwen ho say nipa we am de no kɔ no. Okoye me bedenya. What you say? Dan say oye me party ba. Analysis. A few years back, let me be say, Sisi a uti we yekase wudi kro fra, oni yekase MP fra, one hour yembe.
Oh, they say them here they want home me ni na kam vanya ase.
Because ya ma na bididi aba afan we.
O me ni na kam vanya ase bia.
E bia na akọ judiciary ni no. What you say? Yefu ene yedenam.
Obi e pedi obedie.
Yefu ene yedenam. Ya commercialize bibia. Me about 20 years or so back, maybe more. Nana kwa kusapon agoguma he. Or ye proposal be or no after being with PNDC and saying that I'm say why ye observation then who say no. So system of governance say MYA. That time na me wa kwantu. Me throw email komo am say me de memra beche. Na ye nya na ye nka sa de we mu. O man bia no ohini ana odi kuro. Che, the amount of money you're spending on elections, any campaigning, electioneering, any campaigning. You bet me see bridges. Alpha and so. Amanka okwa dua. Ufriman ponkwa, onko kan kwantin fi. Entino, and yes and then yes adi we yana. You dissipating the power of your system of governance. Your system of governance. And I question me friend the first coup. They took the power, usurped the power from our chiefs. And on the continent crime. The first year, so no more Cape Coast, no more buying, no more buying, no more continent crime. And it's all share your system when you pass is here. There were two parallel systems. Accra, you know, any are him for there. And now there's a gaping hole between the two. A hona bibiako. And tia hona adantem for no. Judge ni technocrat why ni ahemfo no they are custodians of the land and they create land commission or hine ton asase ma this was signed the lands commission yes as antememo ha na say was two lands are the nuclear lands commission administer sa system no and ma especially where it is a greater Accra it me ton asase ba ko be 5 times because Bruni system ye ntiase and abaye conduit I quiet a corner beer. A man for the fahodins because a banny giddy need could not quarter. Technicalities.
10 years.
Court. And yet, the Ukraine can't say more court.
And what they see a camera.
And so, quite him fear. Ye boo baby say, we can't him fear, not as a need them. And what ye no correct. Yet no correct any dear some more. And the Bruni system na idea change yeah, you be trying until say yeah, I been system
try to correct Bruni there. Say we cannot allow our leaders to behave the way they are behaving.
Na sisi omo tumi chen obi akroma. Omo ni asofo. Omo ni asofo. And you cannot deny that. The omo pay bi omo kan, the omo pay bi omo ye. Say ya no kasa. She said me da ho am see me ntimi na me ya almost say papa bi de bedu ko bi o say. You know, and the utterances. Yem penny for my bay na bi o mo no can. But accept I don't know about Sisiano, or your software no a politician. And now could you be able to fee? A big crown now when you knew whom I be, but in bottom here, not the apology. He has to recoup their monies. They almost in Professor Kaakyire 6Am working. And no one from 1 year saying you. Because the Yama society now, we've lost the fiber of this society. Akwara soya no depend. Obian kan hwe and so penny ne hye na chi no hye kutupa na ya na ewura fi say so be penny for one time obian maame nua e be fo ono ne ewura fi say ono ne maame no ono so ye obi maame nua
asemo prince
Kojo
baby I have a do new. I don't know whether you are also expectant that Ghana Bar Association should speak.
Oh yeah, Kojo, my chair tea for mentia me krom for kwam jumasre so for mo hwe omutie. And na hema ba akope. Aha, Italy otie en nenso. Kojo. Ibia me ba me ka se mi se papa na e friend Aristotle. Ibia no ka se o fear democracy. Because we are talking about majority. Nti se ebiri beba na sebi o manu susumrem. Ubenya community a sebi ejimi fo ndo so a. Ombehwe mo ejimi ni ba ko.
Yep.
Na omo abedi enyansafo ne so. Ti na osro. Di se o kan ni book bi a referring the Republic. No kan ko dru ba bi se ka ubenya omo die no omo wiska no. Omo ni mraso. Na omo ehia omo pa no omo bu mraso. Tinka ye pe obi ne de amamu na mana na se tumi amane so ni so anka adentemofo. Omo na sebe omo de omo nyansa na omo age. Ntina na ukọ ancient Greek ayima na ya chemu your philosopher kings. Omo de ne so omo ntra ho nwene. Mfa ne papa mra oman ni. Ne wo omo a omo ye the heart. Nti ya na nka teachers, nurses, ni judiciary kan nyina ho. Na fi those who are affiliated metwomen no. And omo na omo ye the soldiers and security. This is movie I friends Spartans na. Obetia that's what the philosophy. Nti say ye kone saa na say bia metwoman na ye police ni a ke ye koto aba ye na hia metwoman bi so nko boba road box.
Only police ni.
That is it. Na democracy so by no papa bi e friend AV dice ono so hu say no. Said the menu ebo ne aka nyina kodwa aka nyina enipa o mane tumi ni sika na ehu ni suban. Na esan say nipa suban no betimi asese mra wanya sika ni 2 minutes ene ye mfa de bi mra me checking. And no cover the concept of rule of law. Na asechire ne say emra no e wo soro. Ye ya aka nyina hye emra na se. Na emra ne nhwe ni mu. Na hwamu na emre o mu de be ye adwuma. Eno na cover judiciary system by. Apart from that, na Montesquieu so di kanka. The SEC monarchy ni aristocracy na ko ni nyina who says democracy ni so be adwuma there should be separation of powers. Enumu ni e ba ya de abenya sa 3 organs of government. And they be am lecture be na me born about in those days no can say one of the credible institutions e be bo ama democracy etimi a tribal society be na the judiciary. Professor Kumi Ansakwe na asema okan na okansem bi anu susumnem bi was say I'm quoting any buffoon can become an MP. Yeah. Any buffoon can become a president because of democracy. But when you get to the judiciary, they go there on merit. I get in it. This means say the din krana in here say judiciary no more the near Messi na Kojo kan. And ye nyina wa ha. The see 2020 2010 12 election I call 2013. Although people were not satisfied when the Supreme Court spoke. But again, you buy a democracy, you said your papa bo history can rise from say free military matters of Uganda, matters of law, justice Japan, my Jema, judiciary, no judges near America. But not that we stand in Emra, JJ time or yes, or celebrated 31st December movement, if you recall it. Yes. The judiciary stood on their grounds, its own constitution. Omu bueti ya JJ, hono, JJ can say no court. So, hona sani ya mani start you. Any eba, now no 2023.
No court, put the buzi as wabe Canada.
Very good. Unanimous FC. Okay, let's petition editor, your papa John Mahama. I fear to Supreme Court for needing unanimous FC. And NDC for the decided in ma or more. And now, your papa Mahama Krauka said the judiciary has been packed by MPP functionaries and those things. Oba MPP so Emra Chikata. So, for no person or prosecutor among them or the fast track court by court Butia before. And when people sorry tia. Can be today judiciary na so petition can 2013 12 the court 13 vetted by 5-4 so who the MPP so can ya see almost like I say now the modern weaponization of the justice system no be na afenyo abekase enti said the minimum nyina ya adwene say if you look at this history kakra maka eba judiciary no a these politicians, you know, say a comma woman dear. Oh, judiciary near the best. A courtier woman dear. You see. Now, a bar a friend mark in the NSWA. The Emia Cacrano. Me de bia na me trade OSS near the no more be a GS and Yanama catch up some fun more soda. A dear Yano, unim. Now be who said no akoba before fra we who say sad dear baby ana wo no enye baby akwa ene ye chen ho na cause oh we dey enye dey enye but so far as you are in the system now see enye na wo men say won so onye and the moment abenya that mentality no you will not even succeed in life until you lawyer so that say ne bibi na aba and na ama wa benya MP. When I was in Winnipeg, I finished started as assemblyman. No error. Ojubedu, no the name wa bedra. Enti saa edwuma wa yatete wo mu no, ene no bibia bakra na say oh sha. Where's our use and to me it's quite unfortunate. To the extent say you judge no bon anasa a personal attack to me and here. And yen in course system, what do I say? You can take it another level to see. Yeah. But say, oh, can you say, yo, officer will score political points and other things. But Ghana now be a movie because I say we are called the whole world. And yen who be a be kind of a Trump today. So we are watching. And fellas, the other day, advice near, but to need that credibility, say or non so because say. Ghana Bar Association Kasa. In an attempt to remove a Supreme Court judge, Ghana Bar Association on Kasa. But yeah, before Krasi, Benny and your pundits are, you know, Mukusho, Mukase, yeah, bar, you be two Supreme Court judge. If you are a beba, electoral commission. Senior Papa Mahama, Nadaroma, and now. Who say we be able to statement so Boama institution at least in some kind of confidence but no dear children or no so say what happens and then now na me ka say at this time if Papa John Mahama time sa na ma we nyina ntini anso of dia ene Ghana na yewu for one ono me kwa ababia bi ntinka at this time ne ma obe ma Ghana ede etimi etumpon eti asema e Papa afenyo ma kenkan no wanka nie na ye nuanom judges no munhwe niye ebia meka say mpanyfo say dida na ye nya diprep na sebi o nye sika nko ene nipa nya abrabo wi pɛ to da niema a obegya to ho enchirima behwɛ so no eboa
na enchirima be no mo behwɛ den
very good senti ni
problem na
no because you say no ya duru hey with ya duru hey and ye kasa say you and minua bokan all kinds them clear do mo school social studies a very big socialization where the culture is transferred from one generation to another to fit into the society but now we are sharing the responsibility because of what with the economic hardship into be a piska be entering in a back I getting it into and they are also exposed to all these things and look at what Afenyo was saying and look at the background you say I want to do no kran hu nya say do gina chire ya ne ho gine or can obi di bi atoso no kra say those people so what are you trying to champion
but the one who is supposed to know
yes
Prince, mama chip way in answer na that thought we call. Who say your system be Ghana has here. Am I a pitch against each other?
Yeah.
From school yeah the rap baby. Enti wo bete na minister wage na ka so wa bon we school ja no. Na yo sa de no ho a sisi ano we compete against each other instead of working together.
So enti Kojo ene ma na ye kan say ya nhwe ni ya baby ebeto mrebi no saa ye judiciary system ye begu nanum ase fala
na egu nanum ase dada
egu nanum ase da se asem si a ye be ne den ene ma ekoso no ana me nua Kojo kan no ye nua Kojo no sebi obrempon kwa no so ni gidie no system so na asem mpibe nti se asem bi to no na se sebi o wan fan ko African court maybe ono take him run into
African court no beboa
so good said yes was
South Africa court in difference o me Africa for ya ne bi ne kura wo mu ne say
ono Africa court no ya yi
o ye hwan
traditional Africa
and can say the point you edu time bia I say you the normal edi agro too much o man sisi ayeti say den na Prince obi abu ni say oye NDC ana oye MPP Kojo MPP ana oye NDC omo adwuma school mu ho na association mu nyina no there's a divide bi o ho a silent but e wo ho enti wo bon say bi a Kojo benya appointment bi no bi ti baby nwinwi say oye because oye NDC ni ana oye because oye MPP ni enti abani se sign na ono ne party na abawo o se akwa we on kan ho ya de ewura babia judiciary mu adwuma mu before I ever stage ever studio na me ne Kojo ne Prince na edi sankomo we akwa kodu even institutional tertiary what you say high schools even basic schools.
Basic postings, posting of.
What you say? And you know, I didn't know. I did
How do we deal with it?
Men from Anunsi na yenkono. Ya start to see a better democracy, judiciary in the end. Enti e besre nso say judges na nanka mebeka na adwuma na amu no mo na mbebo ho ban ama adwuma no sebi edi bu ni ani di ama. Okay, say maybe now a teacher for abekona bicycles on kwan say ibi mu dressing kwan on the school na ma teacher adwuma na nhye nkran ba no hu mrant ni bi ni ade say de omasia na ma adwuma na ye dey akosoro ka enti esre wo say politician bi e be she okutu pa kakra na say oye na edi din say ye beba wa adwuma ni wa nkasa oni pedua no so a pa cho fa wa adwene ndi ma akusua no fa ye adwuma. Now, here judiciary in this our modern system.
Who deals with this matter? Is it the Chief Justice? And it says Nkomowi or Bum. And now say a parliament and it says a bankomowi. And now say it says a petition parliament that the conduct of the member of parliament outside the chamber no enye.
Dicey because this is a politician. And acquire law. And he's playing on the fringes of the law. The American say, onim de oye pa, and na de o kan bia so ni. Anything what coin in is assigned another post. I'll be asked. So in a way, or justify your you know. Bar association, baby, look, let's be fair. You're fair. Every game has its rules and regulations. You see, a democracy. Okay. So be a bonnie say 48 hours maximum. You have to. My friends, habeas corpus society. You have to grant them bail, blah, 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 blah. But she said, yeah, Yanka say, see, plain. Conditions of bail. And it's no. So when a judge, for a judge to infringe on someone's rights by pronouncing, say, until say a baby case, or remandina, at me, GD said bar association should have come in on that point.
But is it that it is not within the law?
That's what you see. That's what I call for judicial review of all such cases that come up. Where no, in reality of the law, this statement is a contempt of court. But unfortunately, within the circuit court, they don't have the power to cite him for contempt. That is where the
and then I may be said, when ever has same way, a chief justice and ever page 7 said there I put together a committee on transferring her, and there's a so been a petition parliament that the member of parliament don't come on our wedding. Is a good parliament.
The chief justice cannot call for investigation to Afenyo Markins. The law doesn't work that way. As far as I know, a bit that I know. Currently, though, that's why they were calling for Ghana Bar Association to issue a statement, because the idea is that he's a senior lawyer. And when you make a statement that scandalizes the court, you scandalize the entire judicial system.
Is that not why the Chief Justice would be interested in the discussion?
But Chief Justice only comes in when probably there is a case running about the man. What I say, he cannot initiate or not that.
Now, judge is only association.
That is no, the law limits them to sometimes.
Yes, but
the judge himself,
association.
I believe that the judge himself now case no go against him. Or no, bet me take certain action against Afenyo Markins. So, the case near civil pay you are I should come and report the case. Who do you mean French name because I'm papa where you are saying who investigation about me? Don't make it public statement.
Over minority leader post to know. He gives us an indication that Omoba come Rashebedwem na omotu anamombi wo ho.
Oh, so on the OSHA issue now. Or no fees as I said, the judges now they are being biased. And the Marashebi Germany Ghana, so share democracy.
But no time I said see what Marashebi Germany what problem. He went to court,
Supreme Court.
It is if there is a ruling of a judge, now a problem with the ruling of the judge. You go to court, you don't come out to come and talk to us.
I believe Kojo, you are not being fair to us. We are not legal luminaries or even law students. And I think you should engage a lawyer to give us the direction to
say, you see, a parliament in the Ghana. Our decision be a bit timid. It's a BB Kochiwa. I said the court parliament. Net time no, or no, we criticize him. They were any.
Sure.
In the end, is no honor or deba. And or no in particular, no, I don't know, say right now he's practicing. Or a individual, the honor the Ghana bar association no belong to any bit me man sanction be. But what I say, and a judge and so no, or no, there is under the judiciary, headed by the Chief Justice. It is a one year never be sometimes what they can do is a bit me a case in the crowd free. Oh, no, near the web for fraud. But also what I say, aha, it's Kojo Nina say, Oko opposition be a judiciary no, enemy.
Oh, okay.
Sana system na your Ghana. Case na nkwa ma nko ade Medemanu is here panda elections ya. Okay. Emuko tamale akwaji ma papa afi ba ha ebuma papa ina fi ezi NDCC. Oh, eti this antie ne yakase let us set up abusuan for democracy ye dia. Tumi ni nyina ye dia na ye na se bia me ho kwan. Ama sebe. O de ye nhwe na no de see park. Look at the demeanor. So what I say, mpanifo mienu a mo som ye mo de kasa wa say they have personal scores nti obi e Canada don the day they are dealing the issue in the interest of the state. But look at what is happening.
Right, there's another conversation of interest. Said the Ghana hano, and Nema Elcos or Ghana and Mubiano, a Superban for Swama, as I say, you were here, dear, and Sunny Ebeko Hono, Eddie Auto Car Rentals, or Fame, one asing Amaya de Ebro. So what we do as Santimantemu, what we do Kumase, Ube here car, Eddie do Juma. The meeting be now by all students meeting now by a year be now by a fro be now by. In she bi afahye bi nti na awo kure mu a edi auto car rentals se to nsafre won beba be found the one nante omo cars no comprehensively insured, chauffeur driven, the comfort of their vehicles A1 nti say a car there misro and now when you hwe ba bia womo eben wo pa nso to do airport just give them a call. One Ben Children's Home, one Ben DVLA. It's just a call away. Edi Auto Car Rentals, beba normal be foul, normal the one nante. Na ufi kumase akwa. Uwe ni daso, uwa dansi di, ube kachire nkofo. So unya be du kumase a, na ope car de di ujuma de a call round sa. Edi Auto Car Rentals, wadaroma. And anope yeteha, yedi nkomo ye non-krone fa. Mpacho, yenhwe, na IMF ba ye na afi, ye free IMF mui. Da enema maaku mienu a esese ye a part of IMS nkomo a wo ne yen AD wo ma asem say privatization of ECG a key point in our progress. Na eno na TUC for say aban bo ne hu musuo na o sha ase say or privatize ECG a o mbete nka yentie wo.
We request the government to take proactive measures immediately to end all forms of political interference in the energy sector, including the management of ECG and NETCO.
Thank you.
ECG and NETCO remain critical national strategic assets, essential to Ghana's economic development, energy security, national sovereignty, and social equity. While we acknowledge that challenges ranging from political interference to operational inefficiencies persist within ECG and NETCO, privatization or private sector participation is neither a viable nor sustainable option. Ultimately, safeguarding ECG and NETCO as public utilities guarantees affordable and equitable access to electricity, protects jobs, preserve national sovereignty, and support Ghana's broader socio-economic development. TUC and all its affiliates will fiercely resist any attempt by government. TUC and its affiliates will fiercely resist.
Thank you.
And at any attempt by government to privatize ECG or NETCO, in whole or in part. We remain committed to constructive engagement with government in the supreme national interest of Ghana and its people. If the government is willing to make these interventions for a
So I think we should not mess up the issues. There's a policy framework that says that ECG and Daybreak should declare all their collections to PRC, a cash waterfall mechanism. Now you collect 1.5 billion, write to the Ministry of Finance, and then after that use your discretion to tell PRC, your regulator, that I collected 900 million. There's an issue of transparency here. Now Daybreak just asked a question that at peak capacity we are getting about 2,700 megawatt. But then there's about 5,000 megawatt or so that ECG has to confront. But who sent those IPP contracts to PRC for? It is ECG that did it. Of course, that is also where you realize the collusion between the top level of the ECG officials, but also government officials.
This guy, that's where the politics is the hash. The collusion where I think is no. So what he's forgetting is that
Dr. Otu definitely knows what he's talking about. Let him finish. He knows what he's talking about. Yes, Dr. Otu, go on. Something.
No, let him go. No, it's okay. Let him speak.
Dubik, before he left office, brought to PORC a solar contract to generate solar power, IPP contract, which was single source. When in fact, government had made a law in parliament that all solar renewable energy sources must be.
So, as part of recommendations, IMF, the privatization of ECG is part, and I'm sure that Aban take charge. ECG, part of it being privatized, and now they are Aban actually free home. Aban can say Oyen Shishaya, some part of ECG, the Bema private agency I'm dealing with. So, and it's surprising that IMF makes recommendations of that. The TUC position, let's say, there be ECG is in a better position to do its own management. Chance here because say you privatize it. Prince, Mami Charles in view.
Yo, Beni Kojo. That's it.
Abanye Juma evoku bad time.
Bad time. The di kind. Any kind kase kani asem. Ya de hu hia pa. Na de tosu mienu nso. Ye obotaya ni di nti a ya na enwuma bi wo ha. Yemfa ma ankrankra but oman na na efa. Se de ebe ya ebeboa. Ya na ebi ye ahiafo bi a se kudi ankrankra nsema omu ntimi nya saade ni binemum saade no so hu hia wo. Nti na aban na fa ato no nso. Ebi nso ye security reasons. Ebia ade na wo de command krokra ebi etimi ma oman no ho baabi porous ma nga se tokru bi abeda ho a obi betimi afa abom na wo hwe ye system na ye wo generation, distribution and transmission. Good. Na wo hwe inu na me ko wo hu se eba generation na Volta River wo authority na no ye public ye wo bui power public. But oba echire na asogre ne car power ne send power mu nyina private entities a omo so omo beka ho a omo boa in the generation omo dodo na ye into tema nti ebedi kan busa sa nkrofo e ba yi aso rakojo oba beboa ye ana ye nyina wa ha na ehu se duru mre bi a esi eni sky de ebetri omo kanti omo ka so omo supply bi because no a private entity no onye father Christmas ma be chade the aim ni say oye na ade no na abepemfa so enti eduru me bi aho ye kwa ahonyenye mu no sa nkrofo esan so omsupom si koma amoaye enti so say ye ba distribution nso so na say ye co private na say na bebo atimanfo say si ame no ka say ECG e distribute bi netco nso so distribute amo no wo northern sector ba I want to see ye kan netco asem as a ECG na ye kan meanwhile no challenges are ECG famu nyina no netco ne ye den e fa the same thing ansa na brako de wo enclave power company no ne the private ba ono no de wo hwe tema area ho industries akese ne factories no no ma wo mo enti uru ready am a e fa mo enclave power company omo tema free zones sa omo ne de they are able to because how na ha ECG a ye nyina ye nima infrastructure deficit no private company no sebi o man na yi nyinu so hwe how pa kotia ECG a ama se o mo boka no brakojo high commercial and technical system losses ECG ye say tanker esunsu na hu atu ansa na on fa tanker ni medru ba bi o de kono na bucket be miensa enwunego ba dia na ama na ba ni nyina ne se oman ne dia but oman ne nhwe man siesi esese ye de ma ECG no edi ne dwuma ne ni ho and ye nyina if you go to most of the public institutions in Ghana even paint a building look at the bureaucratic process at the core. So, sebe Metro Mass abeshim engine kitwe bi bibia ye be no fako. Until obi ka say a baby a maintenance a chain repairs. But say no buy ECG ma ama maintenance na akodi baby a me say bibia do repairs. Say etimi ayesa na ma we a ECG betimi agina na naso. Me de ne say revenue aban nyuma efo ye ntwa light nyina obi antwa ne de ne hwade. Bakojo ante ase. Omo di ECG kan nyina special state institutions ni nyina omo fa ECG sika ma wo. Na yen hwe se enema ya kan omo ntimi nya ana. ECG a company. They are there on merit. Ba ban bia ba say top hierarchy yin free ho. Ani India. Se si ameno ka se black obi. Ko mo ho meters go ho. Meters go but obi aba and jais na sign new contract. And then microphone so efe chire ma meter no nso omode ma na eni system no microphone use light nesa. Enti enti na ma sa ba enti sa politicization asema bibia na de policy yenyi fio na ma ECG nye ECG say public campaign na omu yo omadwuma na ebetimi medema no si na menuam ya mempese meka na say one aban no sebi o ba record na say oba no niema bi atochema woni ho a onka say de oye de ma me mfa ma obi de bi ese wo papa no o hwe o ma na asiesie no nti ECG adwuma no eye de a yentimi shake your responsibility as a nation say yemfa ma because ya nim IMF conditionality starting from structural adjustment program mba mkrofo a sebe private person basis here nipo bi yi omadi no because
they say it has nothing to do with down cutting.
Yeah.
It has everything to do with a section of the business. There be a metering, any revenue collection, any year sublet, and ye ECG nina.
Ba kuni PDS buy and then the
PDS a brand name baby only that the contractual agreement is correct.
The same politician now nothing for fraud no. Etia den na meter no. Yempa say na modern technology into ECG monyewi especially prepaid meters. I don't know the first thing so obi anya bi. Eno ne ade a medema no si no e ma MTN ebetwa den Ghana Telecom. Okay, say na wo pe a chip na to. You see ya no original basis na sebi o den time you know in the upper east near the chip akogu ho. MTN for the fast then time who said no. Say nipa ni benya chip ni wi ade bi obeto credit. So and the man omo be enti yanye say free credit be ba me fie bia. Na ade no pay as you go a sa we betimi aketel. Na media privatization of ECG because of its role, especially lifeline users near the no.
You are not in support of it.
Yes.
Ebo
Kojo. State-owned enterprise bank. Oh man, I know our recorded profit. 2 years one.
I'm not even sure how many of them are breaking even.
They don't even present audits.
One more year, they are running at loss.
So what's the difference between privately managed business and a publicly managed business?
No, we business person.
Exactly. And you know, yeah, privatize it. Be a private investor, be a baby, we're down or downsizing. They call something capacity planning. And a BBA no human capital board didn't change BBA. And you know, how about say a buy no Otiminya sika pudio de koye sports. IDB ko tuyakama fans among mako America ni hwan. Na yentimi pesa scanning fentua a competent management team. Someone running adeno for profit. That's all we have to do. Woman a scorecard. Ya mano milestones. Utimi bedru say ya. Bonus ye say. Na hedi enkebesi. Na say ye be ye no table tennis we ba na we koni e boni se ni e koni se ya. Managers no mo ho no. Omo did cry chain politicians no. Me na me catch you. Me I have first hand experience. Me I mean about no each no friends or my payment be a man because one show business as you but your scorecard da ho say at the end of the month and at the end of the year you bet you bingo you extend your contract the ma bonus account ain't a bit incentivize you more but you be any say e ya ban adwuma sa aban adwuma ye mfa ye nku ye hu wom every colonial times na ba you and still aka ho bounce aden oh aban adwuma because me hwe say broni dia broni koye na dia before be hye position and say sabi bia wo omo perks I dem wo mu na the same thing meanwhile productivity ne ma because e ya aban adwuma uchi aban adwuma na wa wasia bia companies contract ba no asan the amount into usika wunya na at the end of the month no kra no o salary no umfa nya hwe enti emfa ho into ye young crofwa proving professional, business managers. Your man a scorecard. Your man, projection. Any say now. I think in Ghana for even businessmen, private businessmen, be a business. No man for India for.
We are not trustworthy.
How did that come about? How did that come about? Before Gidi in Texaco Ghana. Texaco Ghana was run by Ghanaians. Top management and Papa Count. It was run by indigenous Ghanaians. Flourishing. A legal case be on Kunyano, Texas. And they had to transfer over to Shell. And a coffee away Munina buyer. I feel it. But Sri Lanka, Nikran and Promise way.
Well, you have to ask why.
That's Minia. Mame, just to free the and Kojo ECG, a national strategic assets. I was as a country, the power sector, the telecom sector. Once you let them, what the man will be, they said they were tongue sovereignty.
That's it.
Because Senipa ne power, cut power. Where are you? The whole economy is down. It's yes, a bibiana, ye frabontin soon say, be because I told you, I don't know more. You can't privatization, but I'm more sure. That be your own was it. The entire can because most of the privatization about Asunina, Ghana for Senato. The then Ghana Telecom. It was one of the viable companies because in a telecommunication, a unity. Yankee betting a national asset similar to Samsung, South Korea. South Korea, now Samsung is owning 25% of South Korean economy. So Samsung Gunne, South Korea, one company. We could have built a similar model in Ghana like that, managed by Ghanaians. Ghana Telecom, a Vodafone for buy, a day investment no money. Nothing. And then Kumasia, even the campus of ground. Tell us how to make it. Call. Me tell you, I don't remember the last time I used it to call. Because there is nothing. And you can't control them. Because they do not invest in areas I will say, and the money they are getting is enough for them. So they don't even want to expand.
Exactly.
So, there are
the portion of ECG being privatized.
Which portion?
Which portion?
Which portion are we privatizing? Because all privatizers are Majiji infrastructure now, now, yet me for lighting go for now, 2 weeks for what I say,
hey, what are some now?
So, Ebeto, ECG, oh, privatizer, say or no Majiji. What about the transformers now overload the Nini Mana and Sikana will privatize? Say infrastructure, what exactly do you want the man to do so that
only to use it for the yard say
we know we are doing
that there shouldn't be any privatization.
As of 2024 MMDA assembly for the OECD to the tune of 2.4 billion Ghana cedis as of 2024 December. It is what the private sector MMDA for Ometrias can another Muntiana and disconnect. We know all
the problems. We know the problems that is causing ECG's underperformance.
Who's going to build a cat?
What I say? And you see, you want to go to private sector to bring another person. When you know that MDC, you are not paying the money to ECG. Transformer and also your and Toma, when you acquire Toma, and you think ECG is underperforming for private sector. Because your private sector development in Ghana has never been transparent. Anytime they talk about private sector, they are talking about a system that will let them buy the same company they have run down. If you become the politicians or organize Ghana money, as I do talk, on Friday will not be any dia, and now say he's owning that portion. Most cases, that's what they've done. Why do we have to do this to ourselves as a country? I also will show you. If you say company like ECG, Kojo, it shouldn't be under political interference the way we see. Let me know, Mokase. I don't need change your buyer. Now ECG directors are changing. Engineers are the politicians. Or management of ECG, no. They are not supposed to be politicians. They are not. And some men are here a buyer. Appointing managing director. Mama 5 years appointment letter. These are your performance contract. ABC. You are expanding electricity to neha, and increase this gap. We want what? Life power. And I was saying, stay up to this. And put this infrastructure. Account. Money benchmark. Just like my brother just said. Money benchmark. Performance benchmark. Now, every review, every year, whether he's on course. Only course, boot him out. Bring a new person. That is how we manage a country. Yen to me in Ghana, and set the strategic as a now former foreigners. Then we sit here and talk of GDP. GDP is really Ghana. Who say sometimes it's funny? Because we see say country, this is the money. But how much belongs to foreigners? That one we don't calculate. Ghana for no, a Juma Sem, near the Nina, only bread, top management. You see, I was in one company. Ghana for a year, Jumanina, it was a mining company. Ghana for a year, Jumanina. Near the free Germany, or buyers were a technical director. No what $66,000 a month. And eventually, they siphon the money away. Why do we have to create that system? And because you need to use for the a buying sector. Not the policies. Because I work as technician engineer with Netco. 1998, 1999. I was part of the team that extended electricity to Damango and Larabanga. So, those days, even at a younger age, I was 21 years, I could see we were joking. Because to me took car, pick up from Tamalia to Larabanga just to insert a fee. Yes, sir. How do you run a company like that and make profit? As at that time, I've worked on attachment basis with ECG long time before. The level of inefficiency, simply because we appoint them politically, it don't feel a reward. ECG and so many who are Jumano. This is a top politician be doing me. That I'm not me. Chop my cousin. Any friend me interview. No matter letter. Me chop them post to letter. Me do some friends send me interview. Me call me nim ubia. They just attended the interview, giving appointment letter. And then today you can't have that.
Not at all.
I didn't hear.
To ECG for workers, so moms is here and so forth.
Yes. Yes. Who talk for no money so forth.
Wouldn't now ECG workers, the woman in the say privatizing now. Half of them lose their job. There is no company because when you're privatizing now, who the control over who remains there? Half of them will lose their job. I have a colleague. We all completed electrical engineering and said that I know you more than Ghana Telecom. They're changing from Telecom to Vodafone. They lost their job. Up to date, some of them haven't found their feet. It's not a divert to IT quickly. And I'm moving back. So, and you know, Kojo, ECG workers need to understand. Currently, nobody is working. Say, you may dear mammy, officer. Within 9, no be
everybody they work for it.
Oh, be a deal. It meet away also very ridiculous.
Ah, you meet about 3 years near man. Kojo, personally, I went to ECG. Me belba, me betia. Sike crameno, or say this one you go mobile phones.
Ah, c'est ça né.
Mobile phones.
On no answer.
Na, affaire here. Me kwa ni mo.
We have to pay. We are running a cashless economy.
No. No, na this kind of go ukwa no charge no allow this kind of go Vodafone so no me say me wo jimi jam direct do kwa wasi miya ha na miya ha no waje. What company in Ghana use one method of payment? Cell phones on kwa.
You say you talk credit now with phone.
Because I'm a bank because try my school visa. I should be able to pay my ECG bill at the bank.
Adie bi aye okrom. I'm saying
DVLA employ banks at their offices.
Exactly.
Why can't we do that with this?
And okay. Uko Kenya. Baby, you de mobile money edru no ho. Ahom te crack it. It is so impressive. And so started free has it. Sisi a Kenya bibia ye pa uti dem be ye bibia menti ase ye de bia no e say e could line. Because ye petition case here now kan ho asemi. When a man contempt Papa Onyan baby queen.
Sir John.
Ane. Onya contempt case. Unsa na PC for isu obemana obetua na yinama. Ocho check ma Supreme Court so amunye check. One na wabot da mo ubiasi mu a obetro that check e dey ama Supreme Court.
Of Ghana.
Adenti na Supreme Court. Usuro so obejo obi check. Na nipa no wabot dam say odi check be. Ya no anso odi kotu odi nkwase
so odi. Muni krom ha na mote say court. Yeah, court here no be tutu.
Okotu clock
any name out or they and see
but to say the year came and you were a very competent management people across the globe. Ghana you were and Prince Kai who shall process flow no baby a touch him no what is no what you say into a competent manner or no befa competent team of man or woman our chip business nasia or befa a competent team dan go ten years or kind also no there be hire people that are smarter than him.
Am I able to do 1, 2, 3 or how many calls? So a call or two will do for me. A call or two will do for me. Gifted Icon Season 2. Gifted Icon Season 2 near the bro. If you are able to rap, if you are able to sing, Kasahari no oya dear, unimunyom to ubusuani, sorry baby, or wadoma chedia, yemano akwenya, say omra, ome picking a form, filling a form, no. Now if you man the opportunity to exhibit the nyame edie duanimu, yawo bantama, yane bantama praise be na hwanimu, yane absa. With the same building. That's an opportunity for you. Gifted Icon Season 2, Street Crown Edition. No? Who gets that crown? And I'll pay Akwenya or Homa, catch you near catch what down for no. Na catch a boyfriend is a Jumaba. Why? Not do much there no. On fire in your BB. Edi auto car rentals at Daroma and you do offend bro. Wabi do Kumasi crew duemu. Say Uhia car dia you jume bia. Edi Auto Car Rentals, One War Airport, Warben Children's Home, Warben DVLA. They are a call away from you. Chauffeur driven, comprehensively insured, the comfort of their vehicles, the best you can. And so that's just about it. If I have no call, then I'll pay. Yeah, sorry, some patch will be back. We have a minute, and I'm sure we can do all of that.
Yeah, Kojo, make us sisi a aban enhwe. ECG said the yedika kana strategic assets. I was say protect here as a country. We cannot hand over everything. We should Ghana Telecom aye privatize ya mitumi hu aman faso. Because this year ya lose strategic assets. Omo be they are not managing it the way we want. ECG power could it has been an IMF goal.
A partial privatization.
Yeah. Oh, whether partial or full. It's your goal to gradually take over the strategic areas of your country.
Don't mind me. I don't even know who is doing what.
I can't agree with you more because technology. You see, our data is king. And these guys have more data about us than anything that we can think of. Phone calls are a text message. Where is the depository? Nobody knows. And you know what? Because data is king.
Right, the American, no. You heard the South Africa. You remember, we are trying to crew my brother. The embrace say, yeah, fagana, say, I had the ye. And penny for say, inquire da eta.
Okay, so let's wrap it up. I'm sure in 30 seconds you can do it. Between your daughter and your mother, who do you make a choice?
Mother.
Your mother. Between your daughter and your mother, if it becomes critical,
as a rule of thumb, I don't answer hypothetical questions.
Kojo.
But in terms of what?
If it becomes critical between your mother and your daughter,
that is hard to do. Honestly.
Okay. I mean, you do not expect all the answers to come.
Yeah.
But that's how critical the situation is. I had a demo as a Daybreak Jumedi or Fatcher Television, so to say the canon. So what the chat wants to be free. Me did the Kojo Marfo or chance ya dafo fro. Gavin Shao.
I go do some. Between me and I go do some. You na me kwana samasa. Open it jariane swasa. Tuma mi yo we tuma. Tamemra swana mi ko. Kwento musam so bieni.